It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. He go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun live.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me as usual. Just let's do the normal, routine. Like the broadcast, share the broadcast. Take your time, read the caption as well, so that you too can contribute. Share the broadcast.
Wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary.
Kàyéfì, that is what Yoruba will call it. Arameri as tensed as this year 2023 charade called election is, it doesn't seem to bother Tinubu, APC, INEC, even Shittiman, as they have shown so far. Baba, except court safe Kolu, it will be the first interim president, Fidihe president in Nigeria history, except court save him. Share this.
ìgbádìyẹ. Ayé sọ́ra kí. Presido bá rúfin o. Ayé sọ́ra kí. Gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Fate of Kolu is in the hands of these 5 judges. Yeah, the fate of Kolu is in their hands. Now, just like your fate on whether your election will count or not depended or rested solely on the fraudulent INEC. So, after seeing all the evidence from all sides against this charade, the decision whether this evidence are going to be tenable, acceptable, and used rested solely on these 5. Again, thank you. So once again, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. Yes, it is Maiyegun, and this is live if you are watching it exactly at the prime time in the evening. Ladies and gentlemen who has been so much interested, especially since the INEC and their fraudulent proposed charade called election, the one that some of us have quite ruled out, sort of, it's a waste of time. The charade of 2023, well, it has all come to one thing now, and that is the court. Ladies and gentlemen, the charade of conducting the best election, whatever election they promised you, for some of us, we knew how it was going to end. It is playing out, okay? There are millions of people who have the right to choose their own leaders, have been shortchanged and twisted and compromised enough that the man they didn't elect is the president of Nigeria today. Again, the argument on the conduct, whether they follow the law or not, a lot of us have been following where this is going to end. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can call this the Temple of Truth version of the state of things when it comes to their court case. Put it that way. That's the best I could make of it, right? Because I am going to speak to you directly on things that happened there. And you and I will begin to kind of go on the same journey to have an idea that except something happened, hey, just like some people felt like, except something happened, APC, PDP, they will be defeated. How were you so sure? This never happened before. Start a political party, a movement in 10 months and give the major political parties, the major criminal groups in Nigeria, they run for their money. It never happened before. But some of you were so confident, like, if it's free and fair, they will be defeated. Of course, there are reasons why. Number one, APC should not even be running. Anybody in APC should not be running for political office again in Nigeria. In a working place, by now, APC, Egbekegbe would have been banned. Anybody associated with APC, Egbekegbe, all over Nigeria, they will be banned from joining politics for another maybe 50 years. Seriously, because of the damages that they have done, right? But unfortunately, the same APC, Egbekegbe, decided to twist the country of 200 million people, only for you to have the worst of the worst election ever. Anyway, it came down to INEC failed. Maybe the court will see reason, Abi. Come and prove. Because you know what happened there? Indeed, if the election was free and fair, which is a tall dream in Nigeria, forget free and fair election. If it was indeed free and fair, APC, PDP, they would have been trounced. They said and brag publicly on these streets, power-drunk rogues and their humbled slaves. They said, you had no structure to even win any election. There were some of them who were actually putting money on it, and they said, if all of this Yoariwo should get you 500,000 votes, they should declare Obi winner. Ladies and gentlemen, it became a tug of war. The structure they were talking about became the structure of criminality, structure of violence, thuggery, structure of ethnic division, structure of religious division. Do anything to win election, is the structure they are talking about. Despite all of that, Baba, they still got trounced and beaten. If you are saying, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, you are the one who don't know what you are talking about. See, I was expecting that at least INEC, somehow, whatever they are keeping, Tinubu and whatever they are keeping, that is giving them the confidence to carry out this dangerous haste, robbery on the country of 200 million people. Maybe they will shock all of us in their tribunal. I told you that. I said, the drama in their tribunal is that a lot of things will come to light. And some of the things as well, you will get to see the position of rogues who call themselves lawyers that will want to legitimate criminality in a country that is as lawless as Somalia. So all of that will give you that picture. So you will know those behind the doom of Nigeria, and those who are trying and struggling to say they want to save it, especially from APC. But last, nah, we don't really see any shock other than they have no proof how Tinubu won election. Can you believe that? I mean, what should be the proof? The organization is the government umpire, or should I say the umpire, INEC, that conducted the election. They have all the raw data, don't they? Should they not have them? I mean, if you say what INEC declared is a lie, right? That means you have something to disprove whatever INEC declared. Now, INEC will now come out and say, look, this is what we declared. Baba, don't let me go etasketa on this. Here you deal with me. In the last, when they said they wanted to start their tribunal, initially, they allocated time to all of them. Okay? Obi, Atiku, this other one from PRPM, whatever. So they will present their own petition. They will defend that petition. They will present witnesses, present evidence of how INEC rigged the election, didn't follow the law. How Tinubu is this? You know what I mean? Anyway, they did all of that. And when it was the turn of INEC and Tinubu, which started supposedly 3 days ago. 3 days ago was the time for INEC and Tinubu to come and shock all of us when we understand politics, when we understand Nigeria, how things work, who are just social media noisemakers. Are you with me? But guess what? INEC came, presented one witness to face PDP, presented one witness to face Peter Obi, right? And they closed their case. That's the end. Now, today was supposed to be the turn of today was supposed to be the turn of Tinubu APC to start their own 10 days cross-examination, presenting this and that, something to just say, this is what INEC gave us. This is what we also have. And indeed, Baba, I'll tell you what happened. Remember that during the tribunal, the PDP witness came and said Peter Obi also rigged Atiku in southern Nigeria, that they have evidence of where Labour Party, Peter Obi, used INEC, used police to rig election and change figure. Remember that part, Abi? Tinubu and co, they were latching on that to say, hey now, Peter Obi got 98%, he got this, he got 93%, and all that stuff, eh? So in their courts, they didn't present anything where Peter Obi rigged. They didn't even raise anything like rigging. Okay? Rather, they relied solely on one witness and one evidence. And that evidence is, that witness is this guy, Bamidele, Okoyemi Bamidele, that became the Nigeria Senate majority leader, leader of the House of Nigeria Senate, serving that purpose, serving that slot as dictated by Kolu. Now, Okoyemi Bamidele, who is the star witness and the only witness called by Tinubu, when he took the stand, well, he acknowledged himself as a Christian, sworn by the Bible, and then the lies started. He said he has known Tinubu for 35 years. Therefore, he was in a better position. And also he said he was a lawyer. He was a lawyer in the American bar, like Nigerian Bar Association. So American bar, whatever, which is not true. Okay? Okoyemi Bamidele came to the UK as a refugee, claimed that he was running away from the dictator in Nigeria. That was Abacha. Okoyemi Bamidele, the former SUG kind of a student union SUG president, right? Who then kind of turned to a political activist and then became Tinubu's bosom, one of his bosom SUGs. So he left Nigeria, ran away from Nigeria in the 90s, running from Abacha as a refugee, came to the UK, got an asylum here, got brief of education here as well, never a lawyer in the US. But he's told the court that he was a lawyer. In fact, he knows the United States law very much. That was where he entered the trap of Labour Party lawyer. Remember, I'm not going to say this the way they actually present them in their court, okay? This is our own temple, okay? And this is how it actually went. One star witness and one evidence, okay? The evidence is that even all of this whole thing about Peter Obi and Dati, obedient, your movement and everything, just consider it as some sort of exercise, an experience for you. There is actually no base for it at all. According to Tinubu, Peter Obi and Dati, they were not even Labour Party member. And according to Nigeria law, now political party, if it presents, it's only political party that can present somebody as a candidate for an election. So all this evidence, all these boxes, everything where they bring, it's not necessary because you are not even Labour Party member. So you know what they did? They presented Labour Party membership register for Anambra State, as well as the local government where Peter Obi comes from, to say the court should throw out everything Peter Obi is saying. But on the issue of disqualification as drug lord and then heroin trafficker, which made Tinubu to forfeit $460,000 to the American government. Okoyemi Bamidele admitted to that today. I'll tell you how that happened. So immediately Okoyemi Bamidele said he was a lawyer in America, and there is a particular code in the American law, which is code 931. I've been at 932. No, 93. I think they said money laundering law, which is money laundering whatever code in America 932. That's not the number. I told you that's not how they had it. They are like quoting things when they were talking. But this is me in the temple telling you, like role play, kind of. So they were like, as a lawyer in America, you understand this code. They said it's for money laundering. Okay. But that code, Okoyemi Bamidele, to prove that he was a lawyer in America, said, no, that code is code 932, not 931. So it no matter. But now money laundering, Abi, you say now money law, say it's about money laundering. But this evidence released by the Chicago court on Tinubu's heroin trafficking deal and trade, and other people who also went to jail, you are saying that that money is for money laundering, Abi? Said that money, I mean, that was because of tax evasion for money laundering laws. But this thing is not about money laundering, Abi. It's about narcotic trafficking, Abi. Sure, you know, this code is about, but what happened is that it's not about Ashiwaju. Ashiwaju happened to be, you know, somebody they said didn't pay tax. That is why he gave them the 460,000. Now, so the guy can't take him on, no. Labour Party lawyer. Slowly but surely, Okoyemi Bamidele removed money laundering from that 460,000 US dollars. And Okoyemi Bamidele finally said, yeah, that's their star witness. So, you know, yeah, it is for narcotics. But he was not convicted. There is no conviction. It was just like an agreement according to US law. That is why they had to take that money. He forfeited it. But you agree that it was for narcotic trafficking, heroin trafficking, precisely. Yes, it's that money is for heroin trafficking. That's why he forfeited the money. Thank you very much. No further question. We'll wait for the next witness. Around that time, that's Wahala start inside the court. No be only Wahala, comedy. Tinubu's lawyer, Olanipekun, I think that one is Tinubu's lawyer. Adegbeson, Abi Adegbite, that one is APC lawyer. You see, Tinubu's lawyer, Olanipekun, now rose and said, Livy, we want you to re-ask that question. Rephrase that question. He said, no, you are hitting into my time. I've asked my question. That's all we have for that. You know? So, Olanipekun, at that point, they said, okay, you know what? Tinubu's lawyer, do you have any other witness you want to call? Like any other thing you want to present? Remember, initially, they already said they have some documents to present as evidence. These documents include what they call the Labour Party membership register from Anambra. When Peter Obi became candidate, according to them, he was not a member of Labour Party. Therefore, there's no point in having this case at all, right? Remember, this particular star witness that Tinubu relied on, and then APC relied on, Shitty Man relied on, right? Don't they mess up? Oh? Are you with me? The court, the judges, they were like, you know, that kind of thing that you have to, you have to admit in an open court that indeed the current interim president of Nigeria, is in fact a drug lord, heroin trafficker. In open court. Everyone's like, are you sure you want to put it that way? No, there is no way out. He had to admit. So Olanipekun had to step in and stop that. So when the court now asked him, do you have any other witnesses or any other thing? They said, no, my lord, we are closing this case. That is our final. Are you sure? That was when, what do you call it? The Labour Party lead counsel now said, my lord, they have nothing to defend. Absolutely nothing. And that is why they want to see, this is their star witness. Is already messed up. Olanipekun was like, listen, you cannot be, that kind of exchanges. Like, don't talk like that. You are the ones who don't have any case. You are not even supposed to be here. If you all know, blah, 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 you know, like that, inside court. And they say, it's okay. You know, they no get case. Nothing. It's all right, Mr. Tinubu's lawyer. It's all right. Mr. Star Witness, Senator, that's the judge, one of the judges or the lead judge saying this. So he said, I hope this council will not one day come and stand in front of you. Is referring to if the Labour Party's lead council should become a ministerial nominee. You know, he will have to go to the Senate to be confirmed. The way he agreed Okoyemi Bamidele that he finally collapsed and dropped the bombshell today, the judge was like, I hope this lawyer will not end up in your chamber to be cleared. Something like, you know, if Peter Obi is declared and Peter Obi is the president, Abi, and he appoints this lawyer as as one of his ministers. You know, say Okoyemi Bamidele as the Senate leader will be sitting down there. He will likely want to take back his pound of flesh, in which Peter Obi's lawyer said, my lord, I am not tired of what I'm doing right now, which means I'm not tired of practicing law. I'm not interested in political appointment. And the whole court was like, ha, 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 like kind of, Then the next thing, APC lawyer, bring your own evidence so that we can listen to you, come and defend the petition and all of that. And APC lawyer turned around and he said, Okoyemi Bamidele is also their star witness. Everything he said there is what they agreed to. They don't need to call him back. And they are also closing their case. The court was like, you know? Then, what about you, shitty man? And the rest? Anything? No, that's us. We have closed our case. Ladies and gentlemen, this is when they were like, now, what is now going to be the evidence that the tribunal in Nigeria would now rely on to legitimize Tinubu, having seen everything that actually transpired in their court, okay? Like, everything. The people who claim that Tinubu rigged, they have done their best to prove that, number one, it's not qualified. It should be disqualified. Number two, it didn't even win. Do you get that now? So they have done their own. Is the court going to say they don't have enough proof? When INEC and the rest of them actually presented nothing, like nothing, or the court is going to say, listen, we are just going to depend on the technicality that Peter Obi was not duly registered to contest that election. Like, it's now in the open, okay? Yeah, it is. And this is their worst nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. What's going to happen if, after all of this, the court now decided that, okay, you know what? Based on the evidence, so we are going to order for a rerun election. And while the rerun is going to take place, Tinubu and Shittiman disqualified. How is that going to go down well with the Muslim jihadists that use religion to further divide Nigeria, then turned around and blamed the people for how they reacted? Islamophobia. You are using religion. You are complaining about Muslim this. What is wrong with you? You are dividing Nigeria. What is Muslim this and that? You hate in other stuff. Those who did all of that, what are they going to do? I asked them first too. Then I'm asking you, the obedient too. After all this evidence, everything, which according to them, they believe that the same way they rigged you in your election, they will rig you in your judiciary. It is as simple as that. But somehow they are finding out that it may not actually be as simple as that. They are worried too. So, what's going to be your reaction? Should I ask you that or not? Because after all this old evidence thing and all of that, they now say Obi, Atifku, they did not prove anything. INEC did a great job and this and that delivered. Let me tell you something. This Bamidele also roped Tinubu when it comes to the international observers and their reports and all of that. Okoyemi Bamidele admitted, right, that the report of international communities over the time has helped in laying credibility to the elections in Nigeria or otherwise, because they also invested money in that election to make it at least, said Okoyemi Bamidele said, yes, I agree that the international communities, observers who could go for Nigeria election, they also help and contribute to give credibility to the election or otherwise. So what would you say about the recent, the 2023 international or foreign observers in the election and their stand. And it was like, I agree with them. Do you know that their report indicted the person you are witnessing for and all of that? It couldn't take it back. Do you get that? So because of that, you remember Atifku submitted the same document from that report as well to their court, Abi? So they had to submit the same thing for OB2. Ladies and gentlemen, the trial, or should I say the defense that should have lasted for about 20 days, or 10 days rather, lasted for just 5 hours. If you have to pick the hours they used in 2 days, just 5 hours. 2 hours yesterday, 3 hours today, and they closed it. So tell me, if they are singing, Kilo Gbojule to finche bi oloba, Kilo Gbojule to finche bi oloba, simply translate, loosely translated as, what is that thing that is giving you that confidence? That even in the face of imminent defeat and disgrace, you are still very much confident, like buoyance and all of that. What is that thing that is giving you that confidence? Is it the court or is it something else? We'll find out. Oh, sure you get. It is like, I have said this before. I've told you before. I said, Tinubu, INEC and the rest of them, they are not coming to prove anything to anybody. Okay? They are depending on technicality, and that technicality is not going to come from them. It is going to come from those who wanted to come and challenge the election. They will compromise it, compromise the old document that they will provide, and compromise the entire judiciary as well before you even get there. So you're actually like having a fight against the entire system. So the fairness in it is completely like not in your favor. Okay? And that's exactly what they have done now. So the technicality they are waiting for is whether Obi is a member or not, whether the INEC registered him, or Labour Party is this and that. But something is missing. When APC and Tinubu presented the evidence, they call evidence register, membership register of Labour Party in Anambra, I'm kind of so surprised that they did not bring anybody or subpoena anybody from Labour Party in that Anambra to come in as a witness. They did not even bring their star witness, Lamidiot Apampas. Like, it would have been the star witness in some of their media drama when they were still like, when they are still Loju Okpon, when they are still very much like the toast of APC, Lamidiot Apampas said it, and he said that if they have to be this and that, Abure committed a crime by making sure that by falsifying forging signature to give Peter Obi and Dati the waiver, that Abure did not consult with other members. Abure collected money and he just gave Peter Obi waivers, forged the signatures of others. Remember? But you know what they say? Obi and his people, they don't. What did they call that? The wing. There must be something called the wing. There is wing. How to the wing a bird. So somehow, legally, the same APC that provided money, lawyers, media, for a pampas to fight so that he can actually puncture whatever they could puncture from Peter Obi. Remember that all the drama. Apampas, they fly private jets, sleeping inside presidential suits in Abuja, in Owerri. All these places he went, that he created havoc. In Rivers State, Port Harcourt too. Apampas was star until Obedient beat him up. Don't let us forget that. They beat him up for Abuja. And from that moment, they beat him up like a thief that still gold in the market. The self-made Labour Party chairman of APC, Lamidiot Apampas, everything began to go down. I think his value started shrinking from that moment. But this would have been the start time, where you will see Arabambi, Lamidiot as star witness in APC. But I think they now feel like, nah. So, you know what Labour Party lawyer now said, he was like, my lord, they no one commit and destroy their empty case, empty defense. They don't want to destroy and further. That's why they can't bring anybody in. So now what they will have to do is the court is going to tell them when they will meet. Okay? So when they meet, when the court gives them that date, but all of them will now come and address the court. Okay? After all of those things, so they will come and speak. They have pages of address they will present. Okay? So after that, the judges will now say, we'll give you another day, another date for our judgment. Now there, we go see how far more una go kick the can down the road. Remember, I've told you, Nigeria, the problems that Nigeria is facing right now, they are all man-made. And a lot of them are acting like they could hold Nigeria, still hold them. But every effort of trying to hold Nigeria together is pointing to one direction. Nigeria cannot be held together, not in this trajectory. So it's like kicking the can down the road. When you get to the front, you see it again. You kick it again. So you see this particular one that refused to go away 4 months after the robbery. Baba, in another maybe maximum of 2 months now, you'll begin to know that, oh, the judgment is coming tomorrow. And alarm go shaking it, alarm go blow. I don't know if Peter Obi's magic will still work on some of you on how you insulted. That is going to kind of sound to you when they come out and say there is not enough evidence. I don't know if it's an appeal to you that there is still one more bus stop to stop. It is called Supreme Court. I don't know how many people that is going to go down well with. On the second hand, I don't know how the what do you call them? The Agbadomaiti, the bat start. You know that? You know they say na bat at the start. Instead of bast, it will now be bat start. It will be part of the name or bat idiots. What's going to happen? The people that after they won election and they were asking people that let us move on, they are still very much in that mood of divisive politics where they still continue to target the Igbos in this political revenge that is non-stop. If they can't say, hey, Sobe, Tinubu no we know, I completely messed up. Let's say the judges come back and say, surprise all of us, including me. Come and surprise me. And they say, man, INEC Mahmoud should be arrested with immediate effect. He has committed treason. In fact, Tinubu and his gang, they should make sure they arrest them inside the Aso Rock before they escape. What they did to Nigeria has thrown Nigeria back into 1870. Forceful slavery in the hand of those who are like you, who look like you, not like different. If you could now come back and say, they must arrest everybody. If you see anybody, arrest them. And go and do another election. What are the bad stats who do? What are the bad idiots to say? How is this going to be, even though they know they still have Supreme Court? Shady quick implosion that they are talking about. Show Masareya, would it come faster than we all expect? You know what I'm saying? There is no way these things go. That is not going to be. Maybe now we just overreact, Sha. Over presume, over assume. I don't know. Because a lot of you with the tension towards the election at the time. If they rig this election, Nigeria will blow. I know so many of you told me that on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. I just had to agree with you. I believe you, sir. I agree. Maiyegun, let me tell you something. I don't believe in Nigeria. But you see this election. Maiyegun, you don't know. See, if they rig this election, Nigeria will blow. in 24 hours. Some of you told me that here. I'm not saying you didn't mean it to. I'm just saying, kind of trying to remind you what detention was like during that those dark days, when Mahmoud woke up in the middle of the night, when some of you were so tired, exhausted, waiting for results, thinking, say something, You know what I mean? If they try it, they tried it, it's been over 4 months, And I know some of you are also telling me right now, Maiyegun, no, you don't understand. Wait for that court. Maiyegun, I know what I'm saying. If that court, after all the evidence, should try anything, that's it. Listen, I'm not saying that, you won't do that. That's why I'm like, are we over assuming? Because, because at the end of the day, everybody just felt like, you know what? No, we're not going to do it now. We're going to go to court. So if this robbery takes place in court again, they rub it over your face, I know you'll be angry. Am I going to wait for it? You will see what will happen. You will say, okay. But one thing is that they will tell you still have Supreme Court. So which means it's going to be like bottled anger, bottled frustration, bottled rage. You now won't do, but they know they hold you down and say, calm down, wait. On the other side, the bad start, they are saying, try anything. If the court say, if you come out, our soldier will kill you, we will fight. That's the reality. That's what everybody is saying right now. So did you now see where my presumption kind of, still makes sense, sort of, right? Like, all camps are feeling like anything contrary to the truth. Now fight, we go tear everything down. So now the judgment comes and says, Peter Obi actually won the election and he should be sworn in. You know that kind of confusion. Atif could wait this second, he could just be like, what about me, my lord? No, you don't win. Get out of here. Oh, that guy too, that Kolu. Oh, the two of you should hold yourselves. All right? I'm making not a carry on yourself to go wherever you want to. You remember that?
70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Is that you?
But that's not going to be simple. It's not going to be as simple as that. All these ones that I say, no, because you know what I mean. I'm just saying, But something, that day is going to come. That day is almost here. They are going to wake up and tell you, this is our decision. Majority of you will know that you were robbed. Kolu didn't win. I believe that Kolu didn't win. Atiku could not even claim that he won. He's asking for a rerun and disqualification of Kolu. So if the judgment now come and they say, in fact, Kolu is duly and legitimately returned, and una one react, they say, wait, the Supreme Court still did there. Una go hold am. But finally, Supreme Court now says, finally, for the sake of national this and technicality and the of section 45 and 48 of the Nigeria Trashy Constitution and all that, we hereby say Kolu is a legitimate president. Say your anger go down reach here that time. That kind of say you are so angry and you start talking in your sleep. I swear, Lord, I'm going to judge here. In fact, judge AK-47 last summer, DTB last summer. I say, wala ti de o. Maiyegun tin sọ̀rọ̀ lójú oorun. And everything when they talk, it be like say, around that time, your rage would go down enter here. I don't know if Peter Obi will be able to say, calm down. I don't know if they would have, because something that all of you must admit to. When you were doing your 1 million man march, and some people were laughing, and they are like, hey, they don't get voters card, they don't get PVC, they don't get this and that. Remember that time? Others were like, After election, are you seeing them doing 1 million mamash anymore? They have abandoned Obi when they want to make themselves feel good. All of you know that disobedience, they are just like everywhere. Let's tell ourselves the truth. In fact, you have made so many people paranoia. They've become paranoid of almost everything. They don't know how to have proper conversation anymore. They don't even want to have it anymore because they believe that anything that looks normal makes them look weak. And you obedient, you are everywhere. Once you say, man, this whole thing is so wrong, it's very wrong. Why are they doing things like this? I mean, this and that. They can't engage you. They'll say, you are obedient, Abi. Why don't you go to Onisha? Why don't you go to Agulu to go and tell Obi to do this? I said, you can't even have a conversation as Nigerians among yourselves anymore. That's how much you have done. 4 months after election, it's been a year now. In case if you don't remember, okay, sorry. It's actually been more than that. So the obedient didn't leave Obi. We all know that Atifku people, or the articulutors. I see them all the time on social media. A lot of them are beginning to even praise Kolu. A lot of them are beginning to, you know what I mean? A lot of them have actually left Atifku. Here you get. They are just following this whole thing for, you know. In fact, a lot of them are seeing Peter Obi as a problem. What is his problem? He came third. Why is he thinking he won? Why blah, blah? You know what I mean? Like, but you obedient now everywhere. Any spot, anybody, everywhere, every corner, everywhere. Seriously. You didn't leave him, oh. And that, Baba, makes me believe that if at the time you get to Supreme Court and they drop the bombshell, Shey Obi himself, he tell you, say, make you calm down and wait for 2027. I'm just saying, you know. Man, oh, too rush, Abi. They go handle them. You get soldiers, police, and all that. Okay, oh. This is Maiyegun's Diary Politico. Maiyegun, that is me. Diary is this platform. In your own diary, you write in them, Abi. Some of you make tapes for your own diary record, Abi. On Maiyegun's Diary Politico, you see, Maiyegun, me. Diary, the platform, Maiyegun's Diary Politico. And it is all about politics. I'll keep the record so that we'll have a reference. But on the side, this is what their lawyers were saying. Before I go to something else, this one, I'm gonna.
As to whether the elections were free and fair, called only one witness. Secondly, the second respondent, Tinubu himself, only called one witness, Senator Michael Bamidele Okpeyemi, who yesterday was elected as the majority leader of the Senate. As to the strength or weakness of his evidence, that will be left to the tribunal. But the important thing is that we did grill him through the furnace of the fire to show that the evidence he gave was not credible, and to show that the documents he tendered, particularly the report on the FCT, as a symbol of status and as a fountain of unity of the country, which they themselves tendered, was actually in favor of the petitioners. We were also able to elicit from the witness that Tinubu did not win in his own state, but that he was the only presidential candidate that did not win in his own state. All others won. Atiku won in his own state, Peter Obi won in his own state, and Kwakonso won in his own state. That he did not win there. We were also able to enlist from the witness that of all the presidential candidates since 1999, none except Tinubu was in a position that he did not score 25%. All of them scored 25% and over, except Tinubu, who had 90 points.
So in the face of the law, Atiku is mostly asking that Kolu should be disqualified, but then do him again. Okay? It's actually the OB that is saying, declare me the winner. Here is the evidence. I'll tell you something. While we're listening to that Ozekome, APC, sorry, Atifu's lawyer, I was reading comments. And guess what? The usual old way of back then, we call them the Buhari Dins, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus, Buhari Shukus, Ungoziaris, Unnekaharis, sophisticated morons, unboot slaves, and the ones abroad, the Abroadian Buhari idiots. We call those ones Mumu Madus, Bele lecturers, Mumu lecturers. Then the Agbero, the Yoruba land-based Abobakus, we call those ones Lagos Abobakus, crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, all risers, and the rest of them. You know, for those 8 years, these are the roaches, the crickets that you found on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. Their own purpose is to defend these rogues, while the rogues were tearing their lives apart. Some of them are getting rewarded for it, okay? So back then, when Maiyegun speak and talk and talk and talk, one weary will just come. He can say, Maiyegun, look at this Maiyegun. Look at your face. You look stressed. Go and take care of yourself. Leave Nigeria. They call them jabs. You know, you drop them, and it makes, you know, just to make that person feel like, you know, go and face your life. As in, leave them alone. Let them do whatever they are doing. It's none of your business. Look at his eyes. I don't even understand those who are listening to this Maiyegun. If you look at his eyes, it's always red. Otimugboyo. Somebody that has smoked Igbo is talking to all of you, and you are listening to him. These are Lagos Abobakuso. And in 8 years, that Amugbo, Toju Ekpon, that guy that no get respect, that Maiyegun that is this and that, was able to see how APC, Egbekegbe, destroyed lives. So you get lives. Women, children, communities, relationship, and the rest of that. We saw that over 138 million Nigerians ended up in poverty, while majority of them ended up jobless. But you know something? During those era, I always feel like, if it makes you feel better, okay, please drop them. But when you finish abusing Maiyegun because of this Ulori Brukus that thought about you, right? When you finish abusing Maiyegun, talking about how I get a long necky, how I get this, whatever you are saying, when you are done, just do yourself a favor when it is just you and tell yourself the truth about your life. And remember how much of living in this denial is actually destroying you. But shame will not even let you admit to that yourself. And that Maiyegun, somehow, always kind of ended up being right. Do you get that? So somebody was writing down, it was like, you look stressed. Omo, I am stressed. And that stress, right, in any way, is not because of your Nigeria. Okay? It's pretty much about the consequences of what they are doing. That those of us who have no contribution to the destruction of Nigeria are going to end up as victims. I mean, people are already victims anyway. People who have no contribution at all to the degeneration, the destruction, and the looting of Nigeria you have today. The destruction of Nigeria that you have today. The division of Nigeria you have today. A lot of us are victims, including you. So when you abuse me, finish. Just to remember, you will still have to go and face whatever shege they have out there for you. 8 years you told yourselves you were sacrificing under Bokwari, and the result of that is what you have today. So, Bumi Dada, you know what I do tell people? I said, listen, when you come on MaiyegunsDiary Politico and you kind of say, I love this program, I love this guy, I just don't like the way he talks. You know? Like Maiyegun, you know, you don't really need to be vulgar. All of you, maybe say you like to speak English like that, right? And Maiyegun, you don't need to abuse anybody. You can still say this. I say, you don't know my history, ni. You see, I know my audience all the time. And my audience knows me very well. You know what I mean? In this temple, there are those whose personal ambition all the time, is to see how much people they will keep quiet and shut down in a way that, you see, this enslavement, this spreading virus of slavery that they kind of have embraced. They want all of us to, just comply. And over time, because we know ourselves very well, right? They no like me, I no like them. So when you come here and you see all these names, they have their own, they have their bearers. APC, people destroying people. Articulated Moronzo, the cash TVs here and there, the Abrodian, Buhari idiots. All these people, they exist. And when I'm passing my message, they receive them. So if you come here and you're a Maiyegun, you don't need to insult, Baba, you are on the wrong platform. You know why? Only those who are closet sympathizers with all these criminals in Nigeria at first will take offense. Do you know why you will get offended if I say something? You only be offended because somehow you are a closet admirer of these criminals. And you can hide behind respect, culture, tradition, and all other nonsense you tell yourselves to indulge these people. So on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, right? If I roll them out like that, you know what I mean? You go cover your head though, because the owners of the messages, they are always in the comment section. Read the room yourself. Anyway, whether na court go save Kolu, Abina Sarailu go save Kolu, or whether na court go save you from Kolu, Abina Sarailu go save you from Kolu. In the next the next few weeks, the journey towards that will be established. How and what will happen after that? Okay, I'm not a prophet. I can only presume based on available evidence. But outside that, some people are saying that the worst case scenario is to call for a re-election. And because of that, Kolu is a master strategist. He is already enabling thugs, terrorists. He's already giving them attention. Criminal politicians as well, like himself. They are already taking space and all of that in preparation. And they said the worst case scenario, the day of that tribunal judgment, Kolu will not be in Nigeria. Shoton. It will be in France or London or somewhere in this part of the world. So that if the tribunal says no evidence, Kolu is your president, he can fly down and they can do the normal, you will see the hired crowd everywhere, like say that was them just winning the election. And that time will be the time you understand that they may be telling you something now here to make themselves feel better on social media. They are scared. Scared. So I was right here sitting in my own jejely, and I saw that the PDP people, I said it earlier, I said, when you see OB people, the level at which, the one publicly, the level at which the politicians among you, the obedience, are interested in jumping the ship, okay? Jumping the ship and going to go and take their own bite from Kolu's poisoned chalice. PDP is not the same, okay? Kwakwanso, that one don't collapse everything about himself. The Mr. Andrew Liversalt, Kwakwanso, he has collapsed everything that has to do with 2023 election and everything. And NNPP is collapsed them for Tinubu. Is currently fighting for ministerial appointments. So when Tinubu announces ministers, he may announce Kwakwanso as one of the ministers. Don't get shocked. Others in PDP are also kind of taking their space. The G5 of Werewike, the deal that got him here so far, that same deal has gotten him a ministerial post. So this is where you're going to know that a lot of these guys, well, let's see how that goes. In Port Harcourt, Werewike and his men, they're already in celebration mode because APC in Rivers State came out and they said, we have considered the ministerial slot to Wike. Is he going to give it to somebody? Or is he going to take it himself to further ascertain his own immunity, the one he's running away from? I'm sorry, where the crime is running away from, Abi? That's how they celebrate in Port Harcourt when the news broke that Werewike is going to make the ministerial list of Kolu. Akoi heartbreak, you. You know, but like it was like a happy mood. Here you get. On the other hand, Pius Anyim Pius or Anyim Pius Anyim. How do you pronounce his name? Is it Pius Anyim Pius or Anyim Pius Anyim Pius Anyim? The former Senate President of Nigeria, PDP. The former Secretary to the Government of the Federation of Nigeria, PDP. As well as Olisa Metu. Oh, Olisa Metu. The man that Goodluck Egbere Jolantan sacrificed as, you know, unfortunately, it was the one sacrificed as, what's it they call that thing? Sacrificial lamb. Oh, Olisa Metu. Olisa Metu collected, according to record, though, they say Olisa Metu collected over 500 million naira for 2015 election. And it was authorized by Goodluck Egbere Jolantan. Unfortunately, when Olisa Metu was being dehumanized by Nigeria DSS, by Bokwari, guess what? Egbere Jolantan was a regular visitor in the villa. Taking pictures, smiling to the camera, you know, sipping and drinking whatever they offered him inside the place. Olisa Metu gained the sort of the pity of the people, but he fought it. Olisa Metu broke his neck in one of the videos when he got he got bedridden. He was being punished for being the spokesperson for Jonathan when Jonathan was president. Something like, you know, sorry, for PDP rather, when Jonathan was president. He was the spokesperson for PDP. He was the one releasing statements during that old era, you know. Anyway, they told you there is no permanent friend or permanent enemy in politics. It's just permanent friends. No, sorry, permanent interest. And I've told you, whose interest? If politician says that to me, I'll be like, oh, Nikure. Who you the bobo? Say, you know what? In politics, there is no permanent friends. There is no permanent enemy. Okay, whose interest then? Only permanent interest. Whose interest? Our interest, not the people's interest. Abi? Anyway, Now me they read the rumor, now some me they read them more, and I've most of the time been very right. Okay. So Kolu is building more, should I say, more structures. In case if the tribunal go do anyhow, right? So Metu, that was punished by Bokwari, is a welcome guest inside the ass old rock. They're supposed to be Atiku people, but Metu was supposed to be Obi people, Obi person as well, because he publicly endorsed Obi. But it's politics. It's about interest. Remember, interest.
My name is Senator Yorubas. Yeah, it was a great honor to pay courtesy on the president, to congratulate him first and foremost for his successful inauguration as the 16th president of Nigeria, and also to encourage and congratulate him on the bold steps he had taken so far. So we had a whole lot of heart-to-heart discussions, but primarily is to congratulate him. Thank you.
My name is Uli Sametu. We came to see the president to commend him for his takeoff, very good takeoff, the policies he has done, his inclusiveness, and most of all to canvass for the idea of participatory governance, participatory democracy. We believe that for policies and programs, it has to be options and alternatives to those programs. But only when we're together can we achieve success. Our nation has played for over 8 years. So we believe that from now onwards, Mr. President has shown the way that the country will come together and then we'll be able to live happily.
Mr. President invited them to, started well, smiling to the camera. We just come and congratulate him. He has started well with all his policies and all of Abba. Somebody will say, but Maiyegun, what do you want him to say? That's what he will say now, just because, okay. No wahala. Somebody was asking, where is that Okpeyemi Bamidele and all of that? Okpeyemi Bamidele, this is him. When Tinubu returned back to Nigeria from France, when he just disappeared that time before inauguration, and he returned, that's Okpeyemi Bamidele behind him. Check that, like behind.
The challenge ahead is beyond that. It's for all of us together. And we must be parents and stay focused. That is very, very important. Don't isolate one date. One date on the calendar doesn't mean anything. It's just an event.
People are already talking about your administration and what it will look like. Can you give us a glimpse into what you have in plan?
I can't. I've not consulted people yet. And administration, you said, is not run alone. You don't govern alone. You govern with people. You consult. Assemble. And then hit the ground running. And it's the same country, right? Isn't it? So.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You don't govern alone. You govern with people. You consult. Assemble.
Àwọn ọlọ́pàá máa kó anybody lẹ́nu. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá máa kó anybody lẹ́nu. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá máa kó anybody.
Anyway, somebody said that Elizabeth too is broke and all of that. Who is not broke among them? This guy live off. They live off wherever is coming from the system. This is them. I mean, every opportunity they have, they don't miss. It's surprising, right? Because you see all of them again. If they declare Atiku as the winner, or Atiku is, or Peter Obi is declared your winner, they will switch. That's what power does. But for now, Tinubu will do anything. It will have everyone. Remember, they said they wanted to do a government of national unity. Government of national unity is that, you know what? Let's agree that the election is rubbish. Okay? But bring people. Let me give them appointments. Let me give them job. Some people are saying the reason why Tinubu has not announced his ministers or what have you is because that is the leverage he wanted to use to manage to get enough people that are likely going to, swing enough when the pendulum swings and all that to reduce the possibility of him actually losing in court. Like, you know what? Why are you in court? Your people are already working for me. They are already in my government. Is that not what you want to do? Let's work together for the sake of that nonsense. So they said because he hasn't really kind of have the right people. When you say right people, we are talking about his main challenger. The person they declared third is the main problem. Tinubu is not worried about Atiku. No, they are not. It is that Obi. If tomorrow Peter Obi and Tinubu, if they sit together, and they say, okay, we agreed to work together now. So you know what I mean? You will think this APC, Abobaku, that have turned to jihadist, xenophobic bigots, you will see how they are going to switch. It's going to be like they just won a World Cup. No Igbos or anybody from Eastern Nigeria right now that goes to Tinubu that has any real value other than just making up the tally, making up the quota. No real value. He believes that none of them could tell him to actually withdraw his case. Tell him to withdraw his case now. Tell him that we could work all of these things out. In no time, another election will come now. So none of them seems to be doing that. But anyway, we hope. I mean, some people are saying that he already had the list. He already gave the whole thing to people. They're even talking about meeting Obasanjo. I don't know if they have told you or if you have read that. Looking for this legitimacy. They are now, his own team, they are looking for how to talk to Obasanjo. That even if Obasanjo wanted anything in his government, they will give him. So that Obasanjo can possibly influence Obi. But the bottom line is that they are like, you know what? Let the court run its course. Anyway, that's this just aside. And like I said, I would have probably taken them serious if Lamidiot Apampas was among their star witnesses. Like he's one of the witnesses. For example, when they are presented that Obi is not a member of Labour Party, it would have made sense. But it seems that Apapans is completely useless to them. And they're depending solely on technicality of your court. Now, I think at this point, I should let people react. But before that, I want to say something. It's very important. I have been seeing videos from Eastern Nigeria, from Biafra land, where some armed criminals were assaulting the people that they are supposed to, at least them saying that they are doing it for Biafra, the same people they were supposed to be kind of protecting, right? They were hurting and destroying their businesses, destroying their store because they violated the sit-at-home. I've seen a section of a segment of the social media praising them. And I've seen other segments of the social media condemning them. But out of this praising and condemnation, I have singled something out. Those who are actually identified with the struggle for the referendum of the Biafrans out of Nigeria, okay? they have come out to say this has nothing to do with them. I know that it's going to be media frenzy right now, where their media have been feeding on it to further drive the narrative that IPOB is a violent terrorist organization. I know some of you on this platform also who have mildly and will continue to kind of stylishly agree with such narratives. I'm not going to convince you. I'm not here to convince you to believe this or that, but common sense, right? If IPOB says they have nothing to do with these criminals assaulting innocent people, destroying their stores and everything, and making video of same, posting them on social media, to drive, if they say they have nothing to do with them, the ideal thing is this. Two things. The first one, none of this ever happened. Even when Nnamdi Kanu was this firebrand, he talks tough and every other thing that when he was not in their captivity and got kidnapped as he was, right? There was nothing like this, okay? Everything they probably wanted you to fear about the IPOB, they were just imaginary fear that doesn't exist. And I need you to remember this, okay? Until the day they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, this crisis, this insecurity in Eastern Nigeria, they never existed, ever. And you can go back to that timeline, all right? Now, because they never existed, continue to, and then the people who are supposed to be the government of Nigeria, who don't want the Biafrans to go, the ones who wanted the IPOB to be proscribed as a terrorist organization, right? These same people means that they care for the Igbos. They care for Igbos because they are Nigerians, Abi. So if you care for them that much, right, and you are not behind this terrorism, it would have been an opportunity for you to round people who are actually committing crimes, okay, and indeed protect the people that you don't want to leave. You don't want them to have their country and the rest of that. But unfortunately, right, the moment they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, this whole thing started. Yes, this whole thing started. And it never ended. Now, I would say at this point, as we all know, right, if Nnamdi Kanu that they wanted to be so scared of, right, was so much like in control, I mean, to some extent, not because all these criminals that are parading themselves everywhere today, right, hurting the same people they are supposed to kind of really protect, right, not because they didn't exist that time. They must be existing. But somehow, there is somebody they actually fear or respect. Somehow, they didn't have the audacity to commit any crime in Biafra land. Even around that time, despite the militarization of the Igbo land by Bokwari, it was so hard at the time to see, you know what I mean? Now, under that 8 years, they militarized Eastern Nigeria, checkpoints everywhere. But guess what? When you see these criminals who are like, attacking people and shooting and killing people and proclaiming that they are doing it because Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, guess what? There has never been any kind of gun challenges. Like, the unknown gunmen, they are there, they are attacking people. A militarized zone would have no security response, no nothing, until they are done and gone. Then they will come around and start arresting innocent people, parade them. But guess what? The crime didn't go away because that's exactly the playbook they want to exist. Now, would you agree, at least in this context, Nnamdi Kanu was taken to court. He also took them to court. They took him to court. He defeated them there because said he should be released. Don't you think that, number one, locking Nnamdi Kanu up hasn't actually helped Nigeria in cutting down or reducing the demand for Biafra? In fact, it seems to have encouraged more people to want it by all means now. So it's of no use for them. Whatever the intention was, it's not working. How about you release him and follow what your court said? Court said release him. Court said put him in a plane and return him to Kenya. That's what the court said. It's not a suggestion, it's a judgment. And because of that, they have taken it to the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court should not let him go. Okay? But the judgment of the appeal court is still standing, They lock him up, deny him medical care, deny him all the right that at least he has all those rights. He's in your custody. You are treating him like a criminal that he's not. Your court says he's not a criminal, right? And I mean, because you couldn't present any evidence per se, right? So you lock him up, and that is enough to fuel all kinds of gangs that are always going to be allowed to perpetuate all this criminality, okay? And then to whose advantage at the end of the day. Let him go. Let him go. And Tinubu became famous for restructuring, rewriting this, and all of that. It's been over 30 days since Kolu has been sworn in as your interim president. He hasn't made a mention of this you know, a big issue, the elephant in the room. Nigerians want to discuss if they still want to be in the same country or not. And if those who are directing the country, preaching peace, unity, in division, and in hate, and all of that, yeah? If they can't smell the room, if they can't see it, this is not helping anyone. And my other message is this. I mean, we have every evidence to say unknown gunmen are sponsored by the same government. And all this evidence are very, very straightforward. They are unambiguous, so to say. One, we witnessed the state that is hunting for IPOB members. And I mean, the same region the same government that is hunting for IPOB members wherever they see them. The same government had the same opportunity when they claimed that IPOB attacked Owerri prison and spent 5 hours singing praise and worship inside prison. That is just about 5 minutes walk from the governor's house in Owerri. That is just about a 15 minutes walk from police headquarters in Owerri. That is just about 25 minutes drive to the military headquarters or the military post outside Owerri. They spent 5 hours inside the prison. That didn't make any sense. Of course, 24 hours later, the same hopeless Uzodigba of Imo State came out and he said, IPOB had no capacity to carry out prison break. But remember, their media already drive that narrative for days. So if you actually care about protecting the people of Eastern Nigeria, save them from all this that you call criminality and all of that, and you are not behind that, by now, it would have been gone, it would have been done. We would have seen instances where those that called themselves unknown gunmen actually engage with the people that were primarily and purposely deployed to Eastern Nigeria, because the impression is anywhere you see Nnamdi Kanu supporter, they are this or that. So if those you claim to be killing people or attacking people, sit at home or not sit at home, if you have no connection with them, we would expect the state or the government to provide security for the people you don't want to leave. I'm saying all of this because, listen, things are getting even worse now. And at this stage, I think they will do anything just to prove to the world why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu. In Nigeria, you don't need to commit a crime before you go to jail. They will first arrest you. Then they will begin to investigate what they arrested you for. They will begin to look for evidence of why they arrested you. And that can take years. That's not normal. It's not. And everyone can take advantage of that. In what? In their own revenge against the system. Let him go. Your court says so. Let him go. All right? Anyway, I'll leave it at that. This man had something to say on that. I think I should let you listen, if you don't mind.
One major priority area in the Southeast, which I think will cool off a great deal of nerves, is for us to bring out Kanu. That gentleman. Pull him out. Stop this incarceration. I know some of his pronouncements or maybe lines of actions and so on were offensive to the Nigerian state, and there was a need maybe to take certain actions. But you see, Nigeria itself is a family. That's my picture of Nigeria. When parts of the family feel offended. As a father, as parents, you sit the gentleman down, you sit the child down, and try to find out what are the problems. How do I help you? You don't like the Christmas shoe we bought for you? Okay, we'll get you a new one. Would that solve the problem? You don't like this meal? Can we fix another meal for you? Can we start talking with Kanu? Can we start talking with IPOP? Can we start talking with other groups? I think a conversation with some of these teams would go a long way in addressing the problem. We mustn't at all times apply the stick. Bring in some carrot at times. And let's see a carrot and stick diplomacy at play. Okay? We can do that. And I think if we do that, the Southeast, the situation in the Southeast will be highly doused, frankly speaking. All right? Further incarceration only make him more and more relevant, only heightened the heroship over him. He is a hero now, whether we want to accept it or not. And we made him the hero.
All right.
We have made him a hero in the Southeast. If he comes out now, he's wise. He can contest for governorship in any of the states. Nobody will be asking whether he's from that state in the Southeast.
Is constant. Bokwari kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, and he said he had an evidence that Nnamdi Kanu had something that could cause civil war in Nigeria. Then they went to court. They couldn't present anything that could cause civil war in Nigeria, or what have you, other than the message of let there be a referendum. No matter what they say to you about Nnamdi Kanu, I personally believe that the day is released, you see all this unknown that, they will disappear like they never existed. He is more feared than some of you can imagine. And I believe that is the reason why they thought, just keep him there. But if you keep him there, and you open the door for criminals to hurt the same people you think should not leave, right? Isn't that, they call it, is it called, no, double whammy? It's called self-destruct. And that's exactly what Nigeria is known for. But don't pretend when they reach that state of no return. I'm just saying. Oloye Sunday Igboho is another person that got so much injustice. Injustice that if the people decide tomorrow that they also want to take it into their hands, or this very, very bad people who never actually wish our people well, begin to open that gap and set up their own militia as well, unknown gunmen for Igboho, and they begin to attack our people and the rest of them, right? Isn't that self-destructive? What did Igboho do? Somebody who was just like me and you, but more than me and you, right? Abandoned people who are at the mercy of terrorists in Yoruba land, screamed and cried. They cried, they crowed, they crawled. None of them is right, but cried, Sha. To the government and said they are killing us. Fulani terrorists are killing us. They are chasing us out of our land. We couldn't go to the farm. We can't go to markets. I mean, elderly women are being raped. This is unbelievable. Nobody listened to them. Nobody listened to them. I mean, it became so obvious for years, so for over 3 years, nobody listened to them. Not government, not the military, not the police, not the media. Nobody. They screamed SOS, save our soul. Igboho picked that up. He didn't say he wanted to be hero. Concerned citizen that was ready to put his life on the line for what the people who got paid officially didn't want to do. That then puts a mark on his back. That was how Oloye Sunday Igboho became their target until they attempted to take his life. There are those who are here shouting Yoruba Lokon. Yoruba this, calling other Yorubas who rejected anything to do with APC, Egbekegbe, including Tinubu, calling them Omuale. They wanted Igboho to be killed so that they can teach us a lesson. Kill him for what? Eh? Who sent him? He talks too much. Look at him talking like Kekiniko. They were more interested in how Igboho was talking. They were more interested and offended by what they call the arrogance of how Igboho was talking, not because of the substance of what prompted him to talk that way. They were more concerned of how Nnamdi Kanu was talking, than what Nnamdi Kanu was talking about. Remember, so because of that, like the Pharisees, have you know the Pharisees, that said, give us Barnabas, give us Gemade, and then kill Jesus. How they do leave us this one. We would rather let these ones go. But you see this one, oh, we won't kill them. That's exactly what they turned people into. Because for political reason, Igboho was going to derail what they are now currently calling Tinubu's presidency. Don't forget that. Igboho is Yoruba. The Fulanis that are killing Yorubas, kidnapping us, raping our women. On our farms, they had a father which happened to be the president of Nigeria, Bokwari. And Bokwari happened to be Tinubu's best friend. Tinubu wants to be president after Bokwari. Igboho came out and said, we must defend Yorubas in Yoruba land. To hell with politics, to hell with presidency. And because of that, they quickly draw the target, put it on his back. Igboho is in Benin Republic right now. Omonili Olono, Atotileto, a man of himself, for just saying, why would you be killing our people? We don't want them again. We don't want them here. We will fight this. We will fight that. They brought out their weapons, not against the terrorists, but against the son of the soil. And those who are from Yoruba land, the Lagos Abobakus, they said, kill him. Don't ever forget that. Oh, these are Shiri that are now calling other people Omoale today. They said, kill him. Nobody sent him a message. So we should begin the campaign of getting Igboho back to Nigeria. Let everything we want collapse. Everything we want fall. Unfortunately, there are those who are actually going to ensure that if he has to disappear, he must disappear. Like, I'm just saying, so if injustice, if people are picking or cherry picking who deserve to be to face to get his own right trampled upon, to face injustice. This one deserve him, that one no deserve him, this one deserve him, and the rest until your time. And somebody is also going to say you deserve him, you self deserve him, you're supposed to punish you. This one is supposed to kill him. This one is because that's Nigeria, isn't it? The people that kind of rose up to say, listen, these guys are culprits, and they will kill all of us if we continue to follow like Malu. They will kill all of us. Then they turned around and said, no, they want you to hate us. They want you to hold us responsible for the failure. You know what? They are the problem. Let us kill them. Yeah, kill them. Enemy, they want to cause problem. They want us to go and fight government. They are telling us to go and shake kiniko. Telling you to do what? Telling you to try and fight to stay alive and not be slaves. That's their sin. So you gave room to all charlatans, opportunists, criminals to leverage on all this injustice and have something to say they are fighting for a cause. You see anybody now that says, I'm fighting for Nnamdi Kanu and I'm ready to die for him. You look at him and say, he's stupid, right? No, he's not stupid. He's not. That is why you have to understand that whatever is happening right now, the best is to end it now and let him go. And when we say let him go, it simply means let him go unconditionally. And then let's see how they will sustain this, unknown that. That has, man, such a mess. Seriously. I'll leave it at that tonight. So let me take calls. So I'm going to take calls, okay? But I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. Now, when I get back, then maybe we should have a talk or have a chat. But listen, if you have something else to do, you can easily just go for them, okay? But before you leave, do me that favor, like the broadcast, okay? Like it, share it, and subscribe. I will be back, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go anywhere.
onye du iPod o meriwo n'izu onye ya abakare mama daura una bori meri Nnamdi win the war Python dance 1 Python dance 2 na Python dance 3 una bori meri Nnamdi win the war Python dance 1 Python dance 2 na Python dance 3 una bori meri Nnamdi bụ onye du iPod o meriwo n'izu ndị iro ya abakare mama daura una bori meri Nnamdi win the war Python dance 1 Python dance 2 na Python dance 3 una bori meri.
Yes, I can hear you. This is Engineer Simeon calling again from Australia.
Hey, engineer, how are you tonight? Because I know you are already on Thursday in Australia, I believe. Are you?
Yes, I was meant to even travel for work this morning, but unfortunately my flight has been postponed till afternoon.
Well, so we can share some moment together then. Please, you are live. Everybody can hear you.
Yes, I want to talk about all these our Nigerian fake activists. One of them is Bamidele Opayemi. He was the student union government president, University of Benin, my school. We were there together. I know all these people very well. He was very, very articulated back then. He was our student union during SAP riot in 1989. But all of a sudden, from activists becoming politicians, when Tinubu was governor, picked him up as personal assistant.
That's right.
And look at him today. I'm looking at him on TV and I'm so disappointed and ashamed. All these people were all members of Campaign for Democracy with Gani, what's his name? Beko. I mean, not Beko, the Rastafari family. Mm-hmm. So when you see all of them, Keyamu too, though by then when we were doing CD, Keyamu was nowhere. I think all they find out now is once you make noise enough, someone will pick you up and put you in a position. I look at all of them today and I said, look at the people you are following. They don't care about what is happening to the country. They only care about what will happen to them, the money they can get from government. That's all they care about.
That's right.
30 days of Tinubu, I have not heard people talking about, because if subsidy has been paid for up to the end of June, all that money they've raked in since May 29, they hiked the price. Where's that money going? Where is the account for that money?
They won't account for it.
Nobody is accounting for it. So thank God, we've seen what has happened in the judiciary. That's our last hope. That's what we're waiting for. I don't live in Nigeria. I've not been in Nigeria in 10 years. I've not visited Nigeria in 10 years. But we are more concerned, even I've been outside, we are more concerned of what happened in Nigeria than we living here. We are living here comfortably. Me, I work for Australian government, my state government, that's where I work. But I don't need anything from Nigeria. As a matter of fact, it's Nigeria that needs stuff from me.
Absolutely.
So if we are so concerned about them having good governance, and then some idiots in the country just want this rubbish to continue with them, just because they want to benefit, maybe regionally, because, I know, I don't think 10% of Yorubas voted for Tinubu.
I agree. It was soundly rejected. There's evidence.
Not 10% did not vote for him. Did not vote for him. Now, since he has come in, is there any new face, technically sound, we have seen with Tinubu?
No, none.
Is it not the same recycling people?
Same people. Mm-hmm.
All these people were running around Buhari.
Same people.
And then they are all in the government, they're coming back. What are they going to do differently? So my Yoruba Ronu people, let's start Ronuing properly now. Me, I'm not Yoruba, me, I'm Benin.
Bless you.
We don't know who people are. So, but let's see where they are going to Ronu to. I will allow other people to call in.
So much,
probably when I get back from my trip.
Bless you.
We'll
Thank you so much for being part of it tonight as well. Okay, a good one. I mean, I like that. Mm-hmm. The line is still very much open. I think you know that. It is better if you call through the WhatsApp. I know some people rather call directly. Both works for me. Okay, as long as you get connected. Let me take one piece. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Maiyegun.
Ma'am, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's Charm.
Hey, Sham, how are you? Oh dear. You this is your first time of calling this new line. It's good to hear from you.
Yes. I actually tried a couple of times to call, but I wasn't getting through. And I was wondering what was happening, and I realized they have a number.
I know, it's changed. The number has changed. So good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you. Again, let me just appreciate you for everything that you do. The sound, reasoning with which you speak on all these issues.
Thank you.
I've been trying to actually join the conversation for a couple of days now, because I came across a write-up, and I thought it would be good for the people in the temple to actually read the same write-up as well. And this regarding matters of national security that were raised by a concerned citizen, basically, regarding a bill that will soon be passed in the country. Now, I'm not very good at speaking, saying things verbatim as in word for word, right? But I feel like if I share the link to this write-up, the people on the temple can read it and digest it, and also understand that our problem is not just the Fulani invasion, because there is the Fulani agenda, going on, and that's not just the problem that we have. We also have a problem of certain entities in the West who want to, I don't know whether the word to use, infiltrate the country to ensure that, yes, to infiltrate the country, to ensure that certain laws are passed in the country, to also ensure that, because, what I could gather, what I can share so far regarding what I've read is that most of the places that are being attacked, even in the north and even in Yoruba land, are mostly farming communities. And there's a reason why it's strategic. But I will share the link to the to that paper so that the people in Temple can read it. Please read it. I'm just going to enjoin everybody to please read it and understand the scale of the problem that we have. It's not just what is going on. What I feel like this is just how
like Hydra-headed, and
yes,
it's even more than just what we have seen so far, something like that. Yeah?
Exactly. I feel like the issues that we're being distracted with are just, rubbish issues.
They're like
things that they know that we will distractions, things that they know that we will concern ourselves with, but it's not really the issue. How many of us even care or even know what our lawmakers are doing in the National Assembly? Do you know about the bills that are going to be affecting you? I just stumbled.
Ready to sign them. Do we know those who behind those bills as well?
Exactly.
We just read about some new law, new bills. Nobody actually kind of know who are those behind them. What is the purpose? You're making a lot of sense.
What is the purpose? What is the reason why they want you to pass these bills? Do we ever wonder exactly where is all this money coming from that our politicians are having access to? They are being sponsored and paid for by external entities. And if anyone reads that write-up, I will send it just after I finish speaking.
You can even
now.
drop it in the comments, right? Once I see it, I'm going to pin it to the top for everybody to kind of, also open.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to copy the entire thing. If you have a link towards it, right? Copy the link.
Just the link. Yes, I tried to send it as a link, but it wouldn't. You know how when you say that it kind of like highlights, but it didn't allow me to do that. Because it makes it easy for people to just click on it and then the page will open.
Yeah,
exactly.
Let's see
now people,
thank you so
much.
Yeah,
but I'll send it. I'll send it anyway.
Send it to me too. I will see it and figure it out on how to share it.
Okay. Maybe I'll just send it directly to you, and then you can then share it to the temple. You can read it yourself.
Yes.
Exactly. And I'll also share a link to a YouTube channel that really also highlights the problem that we have and the things that are going on, so that if anyone thinks that we don't have a problem, or that this Fulani incursion that is is just the main thing, there are other things going on. And please let us not be distracted by this, whatever Tinubu is doing. This is just low-hanging fruit. This is just gimmicks as far as I'm concerned. There are bigger things that let us
for the big things.
Temporary distraction for the big things. Please, Nigerians, whoever is on this platform, open your eyes. There are other things. Ask yourself, what do they not want me to know about? Forget about all of this other news. There are other things going on that we need to be sharp. And for all of us in the diaspora that feel like it's not going to affect me, Omo, we'll see now.
No, a lot of people are no longer saying that anymore, Sham. Like, people used to say that, okay? But even when they say that, they just say them on the lips now. People know that all of us, we're going to have a share, no matter how far or where we are, Thank you. Let me take that down, ma'am.
All right.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Okay. For those who care to listen, pay attention, paying attention and asking questions. In my own opinion, right? It shouldn't be something that everybody should shy away from, okay? Until we then lead us to the slaughterhouse. Hello there.
Hey, Maiyegun Baba.
How are you, sir?
Fine. This is Radical speaking from
Amazing.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Radical from here in the UK. Is that right?
No, Atlanta.
Oh, it's from Atlanta.
Georgia.
It's kind of like, anyway. How you doing, Baba?
How you? I'm doing okay. Man, it's been a long time I called in.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I just want to talk about our friend, the Wagner of Nigeria. The man from of Nigeria. Asari himself. Asari himself that have come to own up to be the pioneer and leader of the unknown government. Like you keep saying, when this nonsense started, that this cannot be IPOB, this cannot be ESM. You know, eventually the man has confessed to it. And why you will know his confession is real is that after that confession, nobody has attacked him in our state machineries or apparatus. He spoke about the army. The army said nothing. Not the army spokesperson, not the Navy spokesperson, not the police, not the DSS. Nobody's invited him. Nobody is inviting him. You know, and that reminds me while IPOB was having some crisis with people like Clifford Iranya, if I remember him. He went to somewhere in Abia State, Aba, and was in one uncompleted building and broadcasting and saying he was the real Radio Biafra. And I'm like, if you were the real Radio Biafra and you're broadcasting in Aba and nobody's arresting you or disturbing you, then you're nothing. Then you're nothing. If you broadcast from Aba and you have, it's not hard to tell. If you see you're the rating and the people whom you are talking against see you and say you are either working for them or you are insignificant. But about Asari Dokubo, I just want to remind him of one thing or two things that I know about history at Niger Delta. When Isaac Adakaboro started his menace and his attack, yes, he was the colonel from Anambra that arrested him, but he was not killed. So eventually, the Nigerian army released him. He fought on their side. But Isaac Adakaboro was shot from behind.
Yes.
Which means he was still killed by Nigerian soldiers. When they felt he was confident, when they felt we've gotten all we needed from him, they still shot Adakaboro from behind and killed him. That was one. Another lesson to learn from the same Niger Delta is a man called Kensaro Wiwa. Very brilliant man. But his friend, those he supported during the war against the Biafran struggle, we are the same people that killed him. Abacha killed Kensaro Wiwa.
That's right.
It was still the same Nigerian government.
Friend of Abacha family as well. When I read about that, like it was good to them.
Friend Abacha family. The people who support, the people who sabotage his own people to support. Okay, what happened? They were the ones that still killed him. Dokubo should be careful. And one more thing, let me tell you about another person. Yes. Remember the young man they called Gani in Benue State? Remember the Gani of a guy?
Remember?
Yes, he was a TV guy, but was killing for the Fulanis and they were using him. The moment he decided to turn around and join Governor Tom, the Nigerian soldiers ambushed him on the way, going to government house and killed him.
That's right. He wanted to surrender and say he's surrendering and he's working with Autumn.
Yes.
On the day was to surrender.
Yes.
They
Nigerian soldiers killed him.
Slaughtered him.
And killed him and slaughtered him. So Asari Dokubo should just watch his back. His friend, he will fall by the sword of his friends. That's all I can tell him. He will fall by the sword of his friends.
Thank you very much.
He should watch his back. All right, man. Keep it up.
Have a good one, Baba. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
All right.
That's a big one, though. Now let's take another. Oh, hang on. Okay, yeah. Let's take another one. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, Maiyegun General.
Good evening to you. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. You?
Yeah, very well. Thanks for asking. Please.
I'm a first-time caller, and I so much enjoy your program. Somebody introduced me to your program. I never really had idea something like this existed.
Thanks, Baba.
Yeah. You remind me so much of Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, Nnamdi Kanu used to say something. He said that, because I always watch his broadcast, he said, if there are just 5 of his type in Nigeria, that things will be different. People who can just pick up and say the truth no matter what.
That's right.
You see, the way you say the truth about our political leaders, irrespective of border and anything,
that's right,
is what we need in Nigeria. But it's quite unfortunate that a lot of people know the truth and they choose to be blinded by it. For me, Nigeria is a very dark place. Sorry, I did not introduce myself. My name is Ferdinand. I'm calling from Newcastle.
Ferdinand from Newcastle.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
Thanks, man.
Yes, I'm calling from Newcastle. Yeah. So when I came to the UK, I realized how dark the country I called my place looks like. I never really knew that people can actually stand up for truth. I'm not saying that life is much better or that the whites here, that they don't really have a bad side of them. But at least there is something we call plain truth that is open, that people see. You don't need to cover it. In Nigeria, they've used politics to divide us. To everything you do or say in Nigeria is political. Somebody from River State was we are just working together, and a white man asked us, where are you? Which part of Nigeria are you from? He said South. And the white man started laughing. I said, in geography, there's nothing really like South. Like, where is that? Like, how is that? Like, what does it look like? The man started making a joke out of it. And I told him, look, the moment you people from the South or Niger Delta zone realize that you're just political instruments used to divide or weaken the Southeast, the better for you. Because you see, people like Asare Dokubo, for me, I don't see him as a human being worth listening to. When I scroll YouTube and I don't see any reasonable stuff today, I don't listen to anything from Asare because he's a very big fool. People are not called men or addressed as men because of their age or because of how much they have in their accounts or because of how dubious they can be. What makes you a man is your ability to reason and reason very perfectly.
God bless you. Credibility.
A credibility, exactly. And that is the substance. So look at in UK here now. The place I'm working is an IT firm. I don't know anybody there. I was just employed on the basis of merit. Can such thing happen in Nigeria without tribalism and religions? So for me, I've given up hope on Nigeria. Forget about even all the evidence they have against Tinubu. Don't be surprised that the tribunal might rule against him. P2B and the article might win in tribunal. Then they go to Court of Appeal. Tinubu will win. P2B will win. Then they go to Supreme Court. Tinubu will win. It's never over until he gets to the Supreme Court.
Their own is they will just be different, if I should say, yeah. Ferdinand, what happened is that immediately after this tribunal now, the Supreme Court straight to.
Okay. Yeah. So they have their they have their drama. Yeah, they have their drama. That was what happened in Abia State.
I know.
When Alex Oti first time he won Okezibazu. Okezibazu went to Court of Appeal. Supreme Court, and later won Alex Oti. Yeah. Yeah. So they always have this. They know how to apportion this their judiciary, whatever, so that it will look like he won here, he lost here, he won here, and then he later won this place. So I'm not. It's nothing new to me. So despite all even if the National Drug Enforcement Law Agency or the Chicago, what do they call it, the Vice Chancellor from the University of Chicago comes to Nigeria and gives evidence, I can tell you that it doesn't really mean that P2B will still win the case, because Nigeria is
technicality. Ferdinand, we all know how they do their thing, okay? Tifnumbu and others, they know they don't have to prove anything, all right? Just wait for Obi to present his evidence. The way he's presenting them or the way he filed them, that's what they're looking for. Oh, you didn't do this one right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
because you didn't do this one on that date, we are sorry. We cannot. We have to throw this whole thing out. That's
my dad is a lawyer in Nigeria, and I know how they operate. They always want to use, you did not fight this properly. This court does not have the jurisdiction to entertain this matter. Blah 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 blah. And then before you know what is happening, they will just struck it out.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Yes, and that will be the end of the whole matter. So the only thing now is for us to rise and say enough is enough. And this whole marriage called Nigeria is not working, because for me, Nigeria is like a very big company, Nigeria Limited. It's like a very big company, and it's just functioning for the benefit of few people and the Western people.
They are the beneficiaries. Me and you, we are just spectators. We are the pawn. You can choose it's up to us,
Exactly. So now, since I've been in the UK here now for like 2 years now, and I can tell you the way I'm reasoning is so different from my colleagues in Nigeria. There's so much tie faith to politics. One after every 4 years, they keep having this hope that something will change. But I know that it's not going to change until we split it. The North go their way, the West go their way, and the East go their way. Now, when we split it like that, there's nothing wrong with separation. But when we split like that, then if we want to come back together, or if we want to trade among ourselves, we will now have a very strong equal bargaining power from all 3 sides or all 4 sides.
That's right.
That made up the country. Not like some other people, a particular region having a monopoly over others and trying to like force their view on others, especially from the North. And these are people that are educationally, they are backward. You get it? So the whole thing is just like is just like a drama. Okay, look at UK here now. Scotland moved for a referendum. Scotland is just about 6 million people. I mean, you're in Scotland. About 6 million people moved for a referendum, and they were granted it. Even though they narrowly escaped it. But I'm sure now, if Scotland should hold the second referendum that they actually moving for now,
we'll be off the chart straight away. Trust me. I was part of the Yes campaign, by the way, and nobody persecuted me for it. Nobody said, you this black man, you want to come and break the UK, Abi? You are campaigning for yes. Nobody persecuted me. Tomorrow, if they start again, I will boldly campaign for independence of Scotland without any
because Scotland voted to remain in the EU. It was England that put them out. So now I'm sure that the 50-something% that voted to stay in UK, I'm sure now they've changed their mind. So if the referendum was to occur again now, they will actually go for a yes. It won't be the same. So what happens if if a senator from the southeast moves a motion and say, okay, I'm moving a motion for an independent state of Biafra? But they will never do it.
They go try to beat them inside the house. You go no senator inside the National Assembly. They go rush him. Say he moved the motion and said, they will rush him. You will see drama. You go be like, say, what's happened? Somebody send bomb here. Trust me.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to a day somebody will be bold enough to actually do that. Hey, hello.
They will not do it.
Mr. Speaker, I want to move a motion. And rise up and say, I'm moving a motion that this house should adopt the motion.
They will not
the process
do it
and beginning of referendum for Yoruba nation. Everybody, Ferdinand.
They won't do it because they're all corrupt. Thank you very much, Maiyegun. Let me let other people go. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
It's always mine too. Thank you so much for that too. Okay, that is a Ferdinand here in the UK. Newcastle, Scotland, not far. Hello there.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm all right. Here, first one again.
Hey, first one. You are back.
Yes, Baba, how you did? I'm back.
Man, please go on.
First of all, so let me start where you talk about Tinubu lawyers not being able to defend anything because they already know how everything will go. Okay, the architectural plan of the whole tribunal charade, they already did it, so they don't have to plan anything. So, in fact, as a matter of fact, when you said that thing again this evening, that is like it's like a green light that, you know what, forget about this thing. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. Then back to Igboho.
Yes, sir.
And Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
You see, I said it before. What Nigerian leaders know how to do best is how to suppress and oppress people, silent people's voice. Okay. Now, but the danger there is what you said about self-destruction. I mean, destruction, self-destruct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what they don't know, because there are many families in Nigeria that Nigerian government they've tampered with, and they neither pay restitution or anything back to these families. And vengeance is on its way.
Vengeance.
And it's going to be hefty. I'm telling you, there are many families that are crying in silence. In the ring corner, every house will have one secret place in the house. As in Ikoko, Yara, one became a people are crying there every day. I'm telling you.
I'm with you, sir.
So you took Sunday Igboho, you did. That is why you see Nigerians sometimes is out for somebody to fight on their behalf. You can't fight on Nigerians' behalf. Like somebody said recently now, you are killing people in the shame. Okay? Kola Olotu said, Kola Olotu was not clamoring for Igbo to be released from Cotonou or whatever. You see Cotonou, right? To come over and fight for them, Benin Republic. To come back and fight for them in Isheyin. This is the same Sunday go to any Kolobo. This is the Sunday go to any
she all this killed 2 people. They killed 2 people in his house. I mean,
so he don't know how to breastfeed his own picking, his own kids. So see, that is what they do, and that is what the word you said. Like I said, that phrase again, that self-destruct. It is what is going to collapse Nigeria. See, we are saying Nigeria cannot work as one. We know what we are saying, okay? It's the same thing I said during the last parliament that we had. Nigeria will never work, okay? It will never work. And we are not the one that will divide Nigeria. These leaders are the one that they will divide it by their own self-destruct. Right. They will divide the country by themselves. That's what's going to happen at the end of the day. Nnamdi Kanu,
yes, sir.
That is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Many restitutions, many, remediation, reconciliation that should have been done.
Everything that can actually set apologies for true, what do you call it? They have a name for it too. I think they call it a true, is it called recovery? I'll remember, Sha. You shall get like, the true reconciliation must start from the actions.
Reconciliation. You see, even though if you wiped out a whole generation in any family, and your government said you are sorry, it will go a long way. It will go a long way, which they have not been doing, and that's why Boko Haram's government and those people. Remember, I said sometimes ago that they are so arrogant in nature. Very proud, full of themselves. In another column of these people who are agitating to the round table and have a talk with them.
And have a chat.
And have a chat with them.
Clearly, he said the referendum. He didn't even ask for war. He said, we know you will kill us. But if you start killing us, we will also kill you until you kill the last of us. That's the only thing that will stop Biafra. But we are not asking for war. Just give us a referendum. And guess what he said as well? He said, if the Igbos voted yes to be part of Nigeria, nobody will hear from him again. He will go and disappear. Nobody will hear from him again. Nobody is going to listen to that. They want a narrative that, he's dangerous. They are enemy. They want to kill people. They see what they are doing. And they continue to ride on that narrative. See that,
That narrative is real. It's real because I work with few colleagues who are Igbo people. Okay? Maiyegun, I already had a conversation with them a couple of times. And I can categorically tell you that these people, they believe Nnamdi Kanu is dangerous.
Of course, they do believe so, because they have made that narrative that they themselves are believing it. So to now make it work, more will sponsor some boys to start killing people so that we can say, yes, we know it now. I believe you, Baba.
So, me say, I be Yoruba guy, where they tell them, say, hey, people come, this guy no be, we think he be. And they tell people where came from Owerri, Imo State. The other one is from Abia State. they still believe, say, Nnamdi Kanu is part of these terrorist people. They believe it. They believe it.
Explain it.
So to let you know.
I mean, how do you explain
So,
that to them?
so even if me Yoruba guy, they tell them, say the narrative is not like that. What can I do?
What can you do?
Because
right there where you are, a video is going to pop up. You see some ragtag criminals saying, "Oh yeah, sit at home. If you come out here, we kill you." Releasing, and you're like, "Okay, you know what? See, I'm done. I can't. I don't know."
That's it right there. That's
you know, Baba.
That is the angle of argument that they sit at home. They are doing. Nnamdi Kanu is behind it.
Sure, you get.
That's what they are telling me. That's what they are telling me.
So how do
and
you
the same thing you said tonight.
And say, okay, oh, sit at home is voluntary. If somebody now carry gun and start shooting people or destroying people's businesses, and he said they must sit at home and all of that, how does that correspond? Baba, is a deep convo, right? But time, indeed.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, sir.
Thank you so much.
I'm telling you.
I'm
telling you. No wala. No wala. Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
And you too. Here we go. I have another caller on the line. I better have taken that anyway. Hello there.
Hi, Maiyegun. Good evening.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Very well. The last caller, please. He shouldn't just generalize Igbo people. Igbo is not. It's not because you spoke to one or two persons that speak Igbo and all that, and you just generalize.
It wasn't generalizing. If you heard him right, he said, "I spoke to someone in Owerri. I spoke to somebody in Abia. They are believing that Nnamdi Kanu is dangerous," and he was telling them that this whole thing, it wasn't generalizing. Just for clarity.
Yeah. But then it's just like me saying, if I'm Yoruba, I mean, I've heard some persons, and they happen to be Yoruba. They think that Igbo had not conducted himself very well. Therefore,
you will be right. No, you'll be right. You know that sentence you use, some Yoruba. Yeah. You didn't say, "Oh, Yorubas are saying it." That would be wrong, and that's for him too. He didn't say Igbo. You know what I mean? But
anyway, what I wanted to say, and that is starting from you. There is always a first time. I know, even with me, I've always been saying I was one of the people that was of the strong belief that he would never be. Kolu will never be sworn in. But what one of the things he has succeeded doing so far is the military, because the man is still scared of coup d'etat, and that's why he has gone to retire a lot of people. But what he doesn't understand that the military has what we call loyalty, and their seniority. So if I got into the army, say last week, and you got into the army today, I'm still your senior.
I mean, arbitrarily.
Yeah, I'm still your senior. So a lot of people are not happy. They're not happy. And he had better fear. It's not even the generals that he'll be fearing, because the generals do not want to die. They are very comfortable. They've tasted money. They've been neutralized. He had better fear the people, the junior officers, because if we read history very well, a lot of people do not read history, and that is why they took the history away from the schools.
Very sad.
What caused the 1966 uprising? 1966, uprising. 66 uprising was like because of all the excesses of the politicians and all that, and the bigotry, Ahmadu Bello making some very, very careless statements about Igbo people and all that. But Nzo Good led the coup. He did not lead the coup because of where he came from. And mind you, this man was born and raised in the north. He spoke Hausa very well, like your natural Hausa.
He speaks Hausa more than he understands Igbo. Very clearly.
Yeah, understand Igbo.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But over the years, they have spinned it and said that coup was an Igbo coup. It wasn't an Igbo coup. These were young military officers that wanted. They saw what this Nigeria was slowly drifting into and all that, and they want to correct it. But unfortunately, Aguiyi-Ironsi will have been executed, but he didn't handle the matter. And we all knew what happened, and then civil war and all that. Ojukwu executing some people out of jealousy. A lot of messed up. So the whole thing that we're seeing today did not start just yesterday. It's been building up. and been building up and been building up. Now, what is going to happen? Because we're all saying that with the courts and all that, we're just waiting for the court. That the court is the last
hope of the poor man. Poor man
for Nigeria, for the existence even of Nigeria. Now, it's not going to go away, even if we go to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court decides to tafele somehow and all that. It's not going to go away, because this is the first. I mean, Maiyegun, since you've been an adult, have you heard of a governor saying that a sitting president is not my president, and therefore I will not hang. It's happening. You see, that tells you there is a civil disobedience going on, and people are saying, "Okay, come and do your worst. You are not my president, and you can't force me to hang your."
Right. It's even beyond people just saying. People are actually acting that is not their president. You go to some offices these days, you will never see Tinubu's picture there, and their excuse is that it's a military practice. They don't have to have his picture there. Some are putting Obi's picture in their office as their president.
Do you know how serious it is?
Yeah.
Now, I know the military, right? I'm not praying for a military coup or anything, but this is going to push. There's going to be a revolution of some kind, because everybody is tired. This is not a tribal thing, and the sad thing about Tinubu is that this man is so evil that he has given Yoruba a bad name and making it as if it's the consensus of the whole Yoruba.
That right now, people are now calling us bigots.
Exactly.
But one thing is that it's not even fair. You know that's not even fair, right? I'm a Yoruba, and there are millions of Yorubas who are very much outspoken, right?
Yoruba people are very.
Yoruba even rejected this guy. But guess
Yoruba
what?
people are very friendly people.
I can't deny the stain they have brought upon us right now. I will be living in denial. If I say Tinubu's politics has not affected Yoruba, I will be living in denial.
Exactly. And that is why I want to use this and all that for even the Igbo people that are listening to this program. Yes. It's not, please do not address it as a Yoruba people. It's not, don't. If you want to address APC and their criminal gang, these are the people that we need to be addressing. We need to detribalize. Yes, that's a word. Detribalize ourselves from our narratives and all that, and address the people that are criminals that want to bring down Nigeria and all that. And we're all tired. We're all tired.
Yeah,
we're all tired. We want to make the country better. Yeah, and the lady that called there some time ago, she said something about yes, she said something about what she wanted.
Is that external influence that are paying people to make laws? I want
you to think about it and do your own private research. You see that Davos thing that all these world leaders go to.
This World Economic Forum, WEF.
Thank you. The things that they go and they make decisions for Africa, for everybody. What's going on? I mean, look at Russia. What is going on? Why do you think we have the BRIC, the bloc now, and the South Africa now have taken their stand and saying they are going to be nobody is going to, and now they are telling them that if Putin comes and all that, they must arrest him. They say that is not happening.
See,
this is what is going on. So this is on a bigger global stage. Why is it that Bill Gates suddenly showed up? That criminal suddenly showed up in Nigeria.
I mean, do you know somebody who they supposed said they once upon a time richest man in the world went to Nigeria, the biggest black nation, with no investment or charity.
Do you know what?
They won't give money to charity. No business, no nothing. No.
Can I tell you what he's doing in America now? He's buying up farms and burning it.
Wow.
Buying up farms and burning it. Why do you think we have egg scarcity in the UK? You research it. There is a bigger agenda.
You know, they are now generating meat from factory now.
Yeah.
Like no meat
Yeah.
from beef or from animals or
And
meat
they kind
from
of
lab.
and the kind
They
of meat
approve it
that
in America that is eatable
the
now
kind
in
of
some parts.
the kind of meat that you eat before you know it, they will say cancer or tumor or anything. They want to kill. They want. Listen, it's all about population. It's all about population control. It's all about population control. So if we can't get them directly, we use their leaders. We use their. They know that our leaders. Yeah, we are low. Their leaders. We all know their leaders are very selfish and all that. We can pay them money. Yeah, it's. We need to look at the bigger picture.
We need to. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for sharing this tonight as well, right? Let me take a break. You are a star. I could speak to you all night. Seriously. Stay safe, Baba. Thank you. That was some thought-provoking conversation, if you ask me, right? From the fact that we shouldn't politicize, everything in a way that the criminal politicians want to control, that keep us divided, right? Yorubas, Igbos, and all that. And you see, simple kind of tonation, or so to say, where you are like some people, feel this, some Igbos, some Yorubas. Those are very good, correct sentences to use when you are not using a blanket statement or using a general statement. Say Yorubas are, the Igbos are. I mean, this modern day and time, we should do better, okay? Because most of the time, everything we say are mostly from our own personal experience or the experiences of others too. But when we complicate it because we want to drive a point that we believe will be much, much like, effective by saying Yorubas, Igbos, there will always be counter response. And eye for an eye leaves the word blind. I have a caller. Hello there. I thought I took a call, or I didn't. So ma go back. Give me a sec. The problem is that I've got so many people trying to call in. Some are falling directly, some are on WhatsApp, and sometimes it won't cancel the other. I'm sorry. Hello there. Hello there. Can you hear me? Right. When I say people self.
Hello there.
Hello. All hail Biafra. All hail Oduduwa. Brother, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And they will. How you doing, Sha? Anyway, Baba.
I'm just here. I just walked right in. I was like, man, I'm missing Maiyegun. So I'm just trying to catch up.
Almost.
Yeah, I missed majority of the stuff, but I'm here from where everyone is contributing. Marvelous as usual. This is part of the bridging the gap and desensitizing the nonsense that they've put in our brains for the longest for us to hate each other and divide. It's no longer working for them. I mean, more and more, they're making it easy for us to break that place up and come together, because they're trying to cheat, but it's actually backfiring on them.
It is.
With this charade that they're doing right now, it's exposing it. Let them continue, We'll just have our popcorn on the side and we're going to watch the show. Let them do it. The European Union have already put out their statement that, it was rigged, and now they're fighting it. Now, for them to they don't know when to stop. Keep your mouth shut. But yes, they want to double down and defend the fraudulent election that they've committed. And then now it's driving more people to come in, and now let's look at this. Why are these people fighting so vehemently about this? And now you're exposing yourself even more. These people don't have any sense at all. They think they do, but they don't. No longer sheeps. All I'm saying is whoever's trying to divide Yoruba and Igbos, tell them they have failed. They have failed. This is no longer 1960, 1970, 1980, whatever. With the help of Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igbo, everyone else have come together. They cannot stop this movement.
No.
All hell Biafra, all hell Oduduwa.
All hail Biafra, all hail Oduduwa. Brother.
I want to say one thing to you. Please, we need to have you here. You need to come over to America and do like a town hall. Please, this is the way we're going to dismantle these people in pieces.
Right.
Please,
I would love that.
if anything,
like I said,
to help
I'm hoping to be in the US too, sometimes in October, I've got this my very wonderful uncle that's having his birthday, and I intend to be there and use the opportunity of that long trip to actually meet people too. You know what I mean? So I would love that. I'll let people know.
Yes, once you do that, please, I would love to meet you. Okay, thank you.
I would love to meet you too, and everyone else. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right?
Thanks for the support.
All right.
Keep it real, Baba. Nice one. So I have another on the line here. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Yeah, I'm calling from France. I called some time ago, I think about 2 months ago.
Okay. Do you mind reminding me your name so that I will remember? Because, France, that's my
It's Osazele, if you can remember.
Osase, I remember now. That's why I say if you say I
am the guy. I'm the guy that was agitating for one Nigeria, but if it's not possible, no problem.
I remember now. Osas.
Yeah.
So you meet us for this conversation tonight is getting more interesting and interesting and interesting. So which one of them you want to tap into tonight, please?
Finally, I got you. Yeah. I want to talk about the report that came from European Union.
Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
Yeah. Because I think because British no more in the EU, so that's why the report was able to come out. Otherwise, they would have truncated.
Right.
Yeah. Because when you look at what's going on right in Russia, there's a war there right now. All the oligarchs that normally take money to buy properties in UK, they are no more coming there. So the British government finally find a place in Nigeria. They always use the Russian millionaires. So they thought that they can use the Nigerian millionaires right now and help them to launder all the whole money to buy those properties that remain in London.
At least
I think that is why you see, exactly, that is why you see the British government was the first to just congratulate Tinubu and say, oh, yeah, you won the election, even though the Nigerians are crying of foul play and all of that.
Did you say
they just ignore everything?
Because that was the one who congratulated him all. Zelensky of Ukraine, remember?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just talking about the British government now. Why the British government is so much
British
in love?
See, don't mind me. I thought you said that Putin. So I mixed that.
No.
I get you now.
I was talking about it.
Right. Great.
Yeah, the British government. Why is it so much in love with Tinubu?
Because right.
They have found out that, okay, now the Russians oligarchs are no more buying those properties in London. So they turn to Nigeria now. Under Tinubu, they know there's going to be more corruptions. And they will be happy the Nigerians who have been stealing the Nigerian money to even launder more money to buy those properties. So that is what I just see. That's why I see that even the consulate in Nigeria went to, I think they didn't even rebuild INEC. Other people were talking about INEC, but they didn't do that. As a matter of fact, they even almost congratulated INEC and say, oh, thank you for your job, well done.
That's right.
And when you look at that, it just has to do with business aspect of it, because Britain today, I mean, there's not much made in Britain right now. British economy is about properties and banking. Okay, so the Russians oligarchs have been taken as fools, where they will overprice those properties in London. They will call them, those guys will come like fools, they will buy those properties. And now they find out that, okay, now there's a war now. Okay, you have the other fools, like what we call in Nigeria, mumu, politicians in Nigeria, who they can now use, to purchase those properties, even though they are very, very overpriced. I think that's what British is playing right there, Wow. So, unfortunately. So I want to talk about, because we're talking about we have to divide Nigeria and so on and so forth. But I think we should advocate for rather true federalism. I think that is what I would rather advocate for.
That's why so they are saying that if OSAS, right, a lot of people have a different. If you ask this one now, they will tell you, we want this. If Nigeria to work, we must try that. What happened is that a lot of people have a lot of ideas of how Nigeria should be, but nobody, or should I say, not all of us, understand the fact that the conversation must start first.
Exactly.
The fact that people should call in and say, let's talk about this Nigeria now. From there is when we'll begin to say, okay, which one can you try? Confederation, or regionalism, or everybody just going way. They don't want to have that chat at all. They say
because I don't really believe I'm a man of almost 50 years now. I don't really believe that everybody will go on their way, that you are going to achieve whatever you are looking for, thinking that, listen, you are a Nigerian, you don't trust even your own brothers at home. You don't trust your junior sisters. Okay, so that has been the situations of the Nigerians right now. You see, we are not the only country with multi-ethnicity. We have so many other countries in the world bigger than us. Go to India, you go to China. Okay, so but the fact is that we have been so much divided. You see, I'm from minority. Every time we're talking about Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, what about the rest of almost 7 states who are minorities in Nigeria? Are we not human beings? Why are we not? If somebody came out from,
everybody should, you know, if all of us get conversation before Nigeria started, right? All these differences, rights, conditions, all of these things should have been kind of finalized to say, even if your people, even if you are not more than so million, you have the same right with those who have 10, 20, 30, it no matter. To be part of
it should be. It should be.
You know, they don't want to have that. They don't want to have that.
Exactly, because that's what true democracy means. Everybody are participant of it. Okay, it's not like when I look at Nigerian money, writing Igbo language, Hausa, Yoruba language, it's an oppression of the other people.
Others,
okay,
get it.
You don't do that. And when I compare the Ghanaian money, I compare Congolese money, I compare even Indian money. They don't have that, even though they have ethnicity there. They didn't do that. They didn't have to say, okay, this is a major language. No, because when you are doing that, you are suppressing the rest of other millions of minorities in Nigeria.
You don't see it that way.
Okay, but people cannot see that. If people say, oh, it's not a problem. That's no problem. But one thing led to another. Okay, when we begin to align everybody, because as I told you just now, almost more than 6 states combined together is bigger than Yoruba, bigger than Hausa, bigger than the Igbo states.
There's no lie in there. I've seen them too.
Okay, so
you can check the map, you can put the map up and see too. You are right, but because of the way they put them in clusters in states and all that, they say they are minority. These ones are together.
Oh, come on.
Majority. These ones are together. They are majority.
Edo State is bigger than 2 states in Igbo land. Even with Yoruba land, they call them very little. Okay, Edo State is already big. It's big in and of itself. It's big.
By land, by everything.
Okay, so but it's good that we have to include others, you know, and because what I would try to say is that I don't think that dividing Nigeria, you know, will solve the problem, because we have to first of all be disciplined. When you see what is going on right now in Rwanda. You know, the Paul Kagame is a dictator, okay? But he's been celebrated everywhere in Africa. But he's a dictator. He's silent every oppositions. Now, what he has done right now, he makes sure that people don't identify themselves in that country as, by ethnicity
ethnic anymore. No.
Exactly. Who in Nigeria will fulfill his ethnicity in Nigeria? He will fight. I said, no.
No, it's not possible. Imagine somebody saying, if I say I'm a Yoruba man in Nigeria for Nigeria peace, I'm going to go to jail. I have to say I'm a Nigerian. I can't say I'm a Yoruba. I can't say I'm Igbo. I can't even talk like that.
Exactly.
Peace with that. It not go happen. Forget it.
Exactly. But it's a good thing, because I live in France now, okay? Yes, in France, they used to have different languages before, okay? But what happened is that they decided to introduce what's called the patois that come from Paris, because they have a lot of philosophers, you know, the Germans and the French, they are the leaders in philosophers, okay? So they will have town halls everywhere, because they were dealing with intellectuals there, okay? They discuss and say, okay, look, if we allow everybody to be speaking different languages, we're not going to be one. We're going to have problems. So what did they do? They forced everybody to conform to the patois which come from Paris. They begin to send teachers to all the whole regions. And those that oppose that, they were killed. Even in UK, when you go to UK, you have a place there like where, you know, the king were killing people who oppose the king. Okay, so you have to discipline the people. It's we haven't gone through that, but the white people have gone through that. That's the civilization they have today. Okay, so but now we think we have democracy. Everybody just run here and there. Oh, we can write about the government, but your writing as journalists wouldn't change nothing. So for me, it's better we have a dictator who won't tell you not to say anything but provide everything than to say you have your democracy, you can criticize, but actually you can't change nothing. They will be laughing at you there in the house.
I know. Anyway,
that's what we have.
The options,
unfortunately,
the options should always be open. That's what people are saying as well. But in Nigeria, that nobody has option. You just listed so many options right now, right? But in Nigeria, nobody's given all these options. It's okay,
unfortunately, that is why, like the other guy was saying just now, that is why we have to do a revolution. If we like, they're never going to give us the power, but Nigerians are just like, oh, you know, suffering and smiling, don't want to do anything, you know. But there's no way you can, no prayer, no God will come down and change that. So even though we are divided, Yoruba on their own, Igbo on their own, that is not going to solve the problem because we are dealing with mentality. We are dealing with the mentality of the Nigerians today. Because it's everybody, teacher want to have Mercedes-Benz, he's corrupt. Police want to have Mercedes-Benz, he's corrupt. They forgot that they're supposed to be civil servants. They went in there, nobody forced them to serve the country as police. You are not to aspire to have big house and have Mercedes-Benz, but that is the case today in Nigeria.
If you wanted to build wealth, don't join the police, right? Go and join
the
stock exchange, where you can easily be
exactly. You want to be a teacher. Those are public services. You are not inspired to build the house a businessman has built or a banker has built. But today, that is what is going on today. That is why I say, even though we are divided, because that mentality is going to be going on. Because black people, we have a problem. Pride, we have problem. Look at our churches. The same thing going on there. Okay, the religion they gave us will turn to a different thing.
I know.
It's hard.
Let me take on the course, sir. Right? I do appreciate this so much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure,
sir. Now let's take one more. My time is already. Oh, hang on. I think I still have about 20 minutes. Hopefully, if I'm not exhausted. But I have a caller. Hello there.
One name more.
Hey, Osita. One name.
I called you directly.
I can
That's
see.
what I did.
It's like you are getting beaten in your own game now that you have to devise other means to get on. You know that?
I've been connecting, but the truth is that I just don't want to miss the program.
So you just want to be at the back end there watching.
Yeah. I want to get something straight. I'm so sorry. The last caller said something about Kigali becoming a dictator. He is not a dictator. This is the problem about we Africans. We only do copy and paste. We don't understand the meaning of governance. They decided in their own constitution how they will run themselves. They decided not to take 4 years because of what happened in the country, so that they can stabilize the country before they start changing the constitution. Maybe tomorrow their presidency will run for only 2 years. It is because we don't understand the meaning of life. Must we copy what Americans are doing? Must we copy what the Europeans are doing to fashion out the way we have to govern ourselves? This is the reality on ground. It is not everything that the white man teaches you that is right. Who told you that 2 + 2 is 4? Who told you? What makes you think that 2 + 2 is 4? That is the reason we are not even watching. Thank God you mentioned. There's some things that you know that you don't even mention on your program. You were talking about the guy that called, said something about Bill Gates acquiring farms and burning it down. And you said something about the laboratory meat that we are eating. Nobody is watching, nobody is listening, and nobody is trying to pick up an idea that how do I handle my own self? All these things have to do with depleting the population of the world. That their lifespan will not be up to 50. People will be having what is called cancer.
Lifespan
they don't
of 45
understand
years,
thing.
55 years. That one alive. They say lifespan
Is that
60
life?
years. Is that life?
So this is the reason I keep telling people, you are not listening, you are not watching. You are just there because they told you 2 + 2 is 4. And you think, but one day somebody will come and tell you that 2 + 2 is not 4. He will prove it. That is what the white people have always done in the face of the earth. So they get into your brain and they just told you that, oh, because of the man, is something about whatever, the LGBT, he didn't accept it. That means, oh, he's a dictator. And now, somebody, if today Nigeria is like Rwanda, I will never agitate for the breakup of Nigeria.
Because you believe in the system, because that's something that you probably say they devise it for the poor.
Yes.
It's probably not going to work.
Go and look at the country. Nobody knows who comes from the western side of the country, the east or the north or the south. But in Nigeria, we are here, we are not talking about minorities. That is the reason. If somebody is telling these same people that I'm sorry. I have nothing against them. They're my friends. Even, trust me, they are my in-laws. If somebody tells them that, oh, let us look about this thing. Oh, the next thing they will say, oh, the Igbo man wants to dominate. That's the reason. It is because of what the white and the Fufudes, the Fulani, have put in their head that the Igbo people want to dominate them. God knows. And the only thing I tell people, if Biafra breaks away today, believe me, in 48 hours, you will see like 20 different nations agitating to go to leave Nigeria. So, what am I trying to say, my brother? It is not a question of the minority. If you look at it, that is Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba that has been encrypted in everything in Nigeria, and you see that it's not working. Has it worked for the Igbo man? Has it worked for the Yoruba man? Has it worked for the Hausa man? This has nothing to do with majority or minority. This is not the real issue. The true picture of it is that the contraction is not working. That marriage is not working. That thing needs to be divided. That thing needs to be broken. But we've never asked for too much, my brother. We've only asked that why don't we go back to regionalism, or why don't we go back to... Yes.
This one that you have tried for years didn't work.
Yes.
Why do you want to keep it together that way? Can't you try something that you know?
I'm not gonna say because of I'm a Nigerian. And at the end of the day, somebody else is pulling me back. But have it been that we can do this thing and the Yoruba people can exist on their own, the Igbos can exist, the ethnic, the video, the Hausas, the Fulani. My brother, you see, I used to have said this in times with that number.
Yes.
The University of Ibadan was the first university in Nigeria. It took the Igbos about just 3 or 5 years later for them to get UNS. That is what is called competition. That is what is called healthy in competition. Good health in competition. So when they had Radio Ibadan, it took us another 2 years for us to have Radio Enugu. This is what we are talking about. I'm not going to die because of I gave birth to somebody. I am not going to die because of I got married to somebody. This marriage is not working. Why don't we just say, oh, state control? If we say there is no state control, let us go back to regionalism. What the hell is going on? That people would think they are minority. I don't think I'm a minority. There is nothing like majority or minority in the case of Nigeria right now.
At least there's actually no fear. There's no left, there's no right. Everybody is in the same mud together. Nothing actually separates you to say you are better off. Nobody is better off.
Even the Hausas, the Fulanis that are saying that the Northerners that are saying that they are the major. At the end of the day, there's one suffering more than any other person in Nigeria. So what are we talking about? Please, my brother, what we need is sanity. And what is sanity? I shouldn't be coming here to shout like a madman. But what is sanity? Nigeria is making everybody mad if nobody knows.
Tell them.
If nobody knows, Nigeria is making everybody mad. And for you to quench that madness, all you need to do is to be on your own. Self-reliance, self-governance. It is not too bad if we are not asking for too much.
No.
You know, so at this point in time, when people are thinking about how to engage the world in general, to say, oh, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to do it. But look at us in Africa. We are still talking about somebody, that country they are talking about, Rwanda. Today is the best country in Africa. He is the only president that can stand face to face and tell these people, you are wrong. Look at what he said to the British people. That if you deport anybody from Africa, send that person over to Rwanda. It's a challenge. Which African country has been able to do that? If we have a president like that, we will not. I will be the first person to support him. Because in his place, he doesn't know who is from Tutsi. He doesn't know from Rutsi. He doesn't know who from any other places. Rwanda is one Rwanda.
And in fairness, in fairness, to add that to what you have said, there has never been any report that, despite the fact that the whole world is made to believe that there is no Hutu or Tutsi in Rwanda, just Rwandans, right? That's on the surface. So the man is treating the Hutus better. or he's treating the Tutsi better. You know, there's no record of that.
There's no record.
It was exactly
So
as
what are we
it
talking
is
about?
said, is what you get. What you see is what you get. If Hutu man comes out to say he's superior, it will be jailed. If Tutsi man comes out tomorrow and brag and say he's a Tutsi man, it will go to jail. It's as simple as that. Very straightforward.
You go to jail because just because the man did not allow the Western world to have their place in his community anymore.
So they call him a dictator.
The reason they are against it.
Anyway,
so what the hell are people talking about? In 2023, we are still talking about who is minority and who is majority. Who has majority help?
Well,
who has minority first?
We'll get there.
Nonsense.
Osita, thank you very much for this. And Osas, I believe Osas is indeed probably gathering his own response. We do that a lot on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, okay? Where people will be like, no, I disagree with Osas. Another person will come and say, I disagree with Osita. I disagree with this and that. In the end, right, everybody is sharing what will eventually help all of us to have a better understanding, of whatever we are doing or whatever happening, right? I'll take another one. I think I have another caller, by the way, here. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun General.
Hey, Prince Jejeman. Is that you?
Yes, this is Prince Jejeman.
The Prince.
Yeah, Baba. Yeah, I'm lucky I got in, because I've been dialing.
It's becoming tense and busy as usual. I know. Anyway, we're also almost coming to the end of the broadcast anyway, but yeah, let's use the time right. The Prince.
Okay, that's good. Baba. Thank you for the great work you are doing here.
Thanks a lot for the
you see, Baba, when it touches what people do say one adage, that when it touches the eyes or when it touches the nose, it will touch the eye. Okay. Inside this calamity of Nigeria, everybody is involved.
Everyone.
Okay. This is 2 years and that they've kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. You know, these criminals in Nigeria, and especially the APC gangsters, which made Tinubu the Jagaban, the Chicago drug lord, and Buhari. They are all in the same gang of criminals, that conspired to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya and thereby committing an international terrorism. Okay. So the world is taking note. This is 2 years now. We are just want them to.
So always remember that we'd never forget. We remember.
Yes,
we will never forget as well.
We can never. You see, the point I want to make tonight is this. I want the whole Nigerians who are listening to your program to take note. These criminals, they deceive the whole one Nigeria that the reason of kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu is for national security, according to the henchman Malami AGF.
Malamu, of course.
So this is what that criminal told the Nigerians, when he was speaking outside to them. They deceived the whole nation in the name of one Nigeria,
national security,
to do that, and the whole Nigeria, we are very happy. Oh, this man that was always talking against what is happening in Nigeria, everybody was clapping. Today, I want to remind them that the reason why they did that, is to lure them into their selection and election.
No doubt.
Okay, to trap them, and unfortunately for them, both our men of God and the Imam, they all fall into this trap. God was no longer speaking to them, telling them that this thing is a trap. This thing is a trap. Don't jump into it. They all
blur. They do blurry.
They all exactly. They all joined our both with the traditional rulers, and all of them. They asked our people to go and participate in the election. Everybody were jumping up, hoping for a new Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. So today now they have succeeded, because all they want is just to conduct that a scam election, show the result to international community that, oh, We have done it democratically. We have done this. You know, then go to court and go to hell. At the end of the day, they will tell them that under technicality, you are hereby disqualified. Okay, because this is where he's going. Already the judges already has been paid up front. They have been paid. So their head, leg and the hand are tied.
14% salary increase. No be joke.
Their legs and their hand are now tied. Okay. So if they dare do otherwise, they already know the consequence.
You know what will happen.
All right. So this is I want the one Nigerians to be taking note. Okay, all that they need to do now, because I've told them, some of them, that look, any pastor, any imam who is not standing up for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, they should not pay tithe and offering to them again. Okay, and once they stop paying that tithe and offering to them, they will stand up and do the right thing, because Muhammad was standing for truth, Jesus was standing for truth, and we know God for truth. Okay, and all these people, they spoke truth to power. Okay, during their days, Jesus was saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Pharisees, whoa, Sadducees, whoa, Herod, whoa, Caesar." Any power that is government that is not doing the right thing, Jesus spoke against them. So if you are afraid of prison, if you are afraid of going to to prison, that means you are not a man of God. All right, because you have to stand up. Why God give you members is that as a shepherd is to take care of them, talk in their interest,
to guide them aright.
Fight, yes. Now you have joined in deceiving them to go and collect PVC, which is a death certificate.
Poverty
now
verification card.
See where everybody is now. From poverty capital of the world. 9 is the graveyard poverty of the world now, because Tinubu has now come with subsidies of ahead. All right. Even the minimum wage cannot even pay your transport to their working place.
Take them home at the end of the month. They say, "What is your take home pay?" I say, "What will be take home? Your salary. Take home, no fit take me home. I leg at the take worker. So are you gonna feed?"
So Baba, my own message to them, Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for all one Nigerians. He was fighting for them. All that Nnamdi Kanu was fighting is, first of all, he started to restructure Nigeria so that everybody will have security. Because Boko Haram was killing in the north, Nnamdi Kanu was campaigning, stop all this. This will break up Nigeria. Restructure Nigeria so that everybody will have peace. These people, they refuse. Okay? So now what they did was to criminalize his message. And this message was to save these Nigerian people who are now in a grave danger. All right. And finally, Maiyegun General, I want to talk to the army, police, all the armed forces in Nigeria. If you touch the nose, you will touch the eye. All of you are inside this poverty capital of the world. Your children are in it. Your destiny, all your destiny of your children and your own destiny, who are carrying God, protecting the people that are killing you with their policy. You are inside this cage together, and you are jumping up and down like a ninja. Anywhere they say order, go and kill, you go to Biafra land, you create insecurity for them over there in Biafra land. You are the unknown government. Because any government where there is insecurity consistently, any part, and the government, there's government in place, it means the government is the one.
If it lasts more than 48 hours, the government is involved. It's very simple.
Is involved.
Any
very
crime
simple.
Anywhere. If they tell you this crime here is too much, and that crime there is too much, and you say, what is the government doing? If it lasts longer than 48 hours, the government is involved in two ways. They're either the one sponsoring it, right? Or they are the one covering up for the sponsor. So they won't go there and stop it. They just leave it that way.
Exactly. Maiyegun, DSS, they have the intelligence. They goes anywhere. They smell everywhere like dog.
As it should be.
I get me. Anywhere criminal is in Nigeria, police knows there.
They do.
All right. They interact with criminals. They know their hideouts. They know their houses. Let them not deceive our people and say, that there's insecurity in the southeast. They are the one that is creating that insecurity so that they can criminalize them and they can criminalize IPOB.
To justify why they wanted them to be killed.
Exactly. This is just what they are doing. All right. And one thing they refuse to know is that an IPOB is always standing on the ground of self-determination ground that the international community set out, the UN. We are non-violent organization and we will never be violent. Okay.
No.
The ESN was formed to protect our forests, so that the invading terrorists and
they're not wear red like people will be say them be DBR from anywhere. They put red, they put a gun, they carry gun. No. IPOB doesn't. ESN doesn't do that too, right?
Exactly. That is not our motto. That is not our motto at all. That is never our MO. All right. All these things they should. Maiyegun General,
yes,
all these things they are doing on final note, they should know that the whole world intelligence is there in Nigeria, monitoring everything. They can't deceive anybody.
God bless you.
Thank you so much, Maiyegun General.
That's going to be me tonight.
God bless you. God bless you.
All the best. Stay safe, Baba. Good night.
And you too, Baba.
Now, this is where we're going to draw the curtains. I want to say thank you to all of us and to those who are still trying to call in. I know that feeling. Okay, when you have been trying all night and when it seems that you could probably get through, the program comes to an end. Of course, everything that has a beginning must have an end. Okay, for tonight, this is the end of the broadcast. So thank you for spending your evening with me, sharing this, inviting others, communicating, calling in, and then using your super chat as well. Like, we actually tick all boxes. Thank you. I appreciate every minute you spent here. All right, and I hope I'll be lucky to have you around next time, right? Thank you. And remember, okay, to not miss this. It simply means you must at least subscribe, set notification, and all that. I will see you some other time. So thank you so much. From Maiyegun, good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti